hit chase, yeah, with key charge. Like, he bodies me, that set, but I got a key charge. I'm happy.
Like, that was the win right there.
Right, but I dropped the rage drive afterwards, so he blocks the rage drive, and then did rage art on me afterwards.
We might be okay. Oh, I think we're moving.
Oh, we're moving, yes.
Oh, yes.
You're moving.
Yes. Wait, what? Okay, let me see. One last thing is I want to see if this image will fuck everything up. No? No, I think we're good.
Yeah, we're still good. We're still good.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Don't touch anything. Nobody touch anything. Nobody touch anything.
Hands up. Hands up.
Hands up. Reach for the skies.
What if I need a glass of water?
Okay. Show your dog now. Show your dog now. Show your dog now.
Him now.
Yes.
All right. Don't do this. All right. Yes. Yes.
There.
Everyone, say hello.
You gotta lift from higher.
To the man of the hour.
Lift a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Lift Simba higher.
Toby, was it?
Oh no.
There you go. There you go. There you go. It's in the shot. There we go.
Say hi. Everybody.
Yes. Okay. That's getting everybody to stay. There we go. There we go.
All right.
Godlike.
We have him today.
Komanda has a cool dog and Fergus has shit posters.
Can we ban this guy, please?
Oh man, I don't think I have any mods in the chat except my boss showed Oxford. Fergus shows. Okay. Since we have it working now, I don't want to delay this any longer. So, as I was saying, Fergus won many tournaments. He's a very good Asuka player from the EU. Komanda has gotten very close to winning many tournaments in the East Coast. But he is definitely the smartest Asuka player I know, for sure. Like, he's the hardest to outplay. I played a lot of them, okay? I played a lot of Asuka players in my time, and he's the hardest to outplay. Because this guy has, like, a brain that works, unlike other Asuka players, you know?
I'm right here.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think you have the back 3 virus.
I'll take that title.
Asuka players don't think these back 3. Okay, guys, we're gonna show you that there's more to Asuka than back 3. So, okay, so officially starting with the podcast now, since everything seems to be working and we're no longer dying of technical issues. First things first, of course, is we're gonna learn about why you guys picked your character. Fergus, why don't you go ahead and tell us why you picked Asuka as your main?
Well, I think it's the same story as most people. I think I just saw her in Tekken 5. And her prologue, I thought was so cool because like it showed her beating up gang members, and I was like, that is so sick. So I tried her out, and obviously I was a casual back then, so I didn't know what moves were or anything. So I just like spammed with her, but I just thought her story was so cool. And then she goes beats up Fang in story mode, and I was like, that's my girl right there. So yeah, that's it.
So it has nothing to do with her playstyle. You just liked her from the moment that you saw her.
Pretty much. I like the character a lot. Like it's not just it's like partially playstyle and mostly the character for me.
Oh, okay. That's very different than my previous guests who are all said playstyle. They all said playstyle. Interesting.
Tryhards, man.
Tryhards, I know, right? Tryhards. Especially like Fante. But all right, cool. And so you stick with her. How long have you've been playing since Tag 2, right? You didn't start
since Tag 2, yes.
You didn't take the game seriously until Tag 2, right? Is that
that's correct? Right. So I started with Asuka in Tag 2, and then I figured out her playstyle a little bit, and I was like, this is fine. This suits me, so I rock with it.
All right, cool. Komanda, what about you?
So, Asuka was not my first character. I started with Mishima's because I love Jin.
Okay.
But when I finally decided that I wanted to stop getting buttons mashed on me, the first thing I learned how to do was whiff punish, and electrics were way too hard for me. And I was a scrub, and I didn't want to practice that. So I just started looking around the cast, and I stumbled across Asuka Forward 2, and I just stuck with her from that point.
Oh, so you are definitely more of a playstyle guy than Mr. Fergus over here. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely character for me.
Definitely.
At this point, I would definitely say playstyle, but it wasn't supposed to be that way. Like she was just supposed to be the character that I learned the game with, and then I thought about going back to Mishima's, but
don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't leave me hanging.
Don't leave him hanging. Don't leave him hanging.
Not for Mishima's as well.
Yeah, I can't go back. See, Chad, this is what I'm talking about, alright? I have never seen... Fergus, you're amazing, but I've never seen an Asuka player hit other people so many times with forward 2 as much as this guy over here. He's the... I don't know, you should just change your name to forward 2 God, honestly. you called yourself that before.
Can I take that 3 gods?
and you you could do that too. That'd be you should if you're both at a tournament together, you should like team of all Asukas, and you should have like back 3 God or 2 God, and then find someone else, and then he could be like parry God, can God. Oh my God, it'd be God.
That would be great. Just the entire Asuka crew.
Oh my God, I gotta find another Leo player that's Gamble, I guess. And Behawk. But anyways, but you've been playing since Tag 2 as well. Just Tag 2? You started in T6?
The end of Tag 2, like whenever all the good players stop playing, like that's when I...
Right, but I remember finding you online a lot. Did you start seriously in the middle of Tag 2, or were you like really learning the game in like the beginning, but you didn't get into tournaments until later?
I was starting to learn around the middle of it. I just went to tournaments because I didn't know they were actually a thing until Winter Brawl. So I was like, all right, let's see how we do.
And you did pretty well. You did pretty well. I mean, the game was kind of dying, but you still did pretty well at that point. Tag 2 had a pretty tumultuous lifeline with the whole, casuals hated watching it. Some people really like playing it. Like, some people were like, this is the greatest game ever invented, like Speed Kicks or whatever. And some people were like, this game is trash, like Eris. So, kind of a hard game to figure out. Anyway, so that's pretty interesting that we have someone over here that picked the character because they just like them. You know, they're just cool. And then there's someone over here with I
can show you my statues and
my
shirts.
Oh my God, yeah. I was like, maybe I should buy like have a Asuka merchandise for like the Jeopardy, but he already has all of them, I think. So,
hey man, send something my way. I think I've earned one.
Like when I went to final rounds, I didn't go into the venue. I went straight to the stalls and just looked for any prints or art prints.
This guy over here.
Then I went to the venue.
All right, then
priorities in check.
Priorities in check, and then you and I were at the booth at Strong Style, the last thing before it closed, last thing on Sunday night, buying the art.
Oh yeah. I mean,
from a Peacock Drive, right?
AD 3D or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. And then Komanda on the other hand over here is more about like this character fits exactly what I want to do. I want to whiff punish people, which is a pretty good choice for the character. I think her whiff punish is pretty good.
Whiff punishing wasn't like the only thing I wanted to do, but it was just like the first thing I learned. So I just kind of held on to that with a death grip, and Asuka just seems to fit it. So
makes sense. Okay, so now I think you two are very strong Asuka players and Tekken players in general, but you have very different styles, which is very interesting. You do have very different styles. So Fergus, I'd like to start with you since Joe just talked. How would you describe your approach to Asuka and your game plan when you play Asuka? Like, what's your goal?
I think like Asuka's obviously play best at defensively. So
many people would agree with this. Yes.
Yeah. So I think there's two things to her that makes her especially strong in that area. So she's a really safe character. Like her frame data is really safe for the most part. It's either really awkward to punish or it's just straight up safe. So dash on top for panic move. So like she has back 3, she's can-cans, she's parry, she's 1-2-4. Slice up 2, all that stuff. Den job, generic den job as well. So I think it's really hard to take damage off her because of those two things. So I think if you play it really well, your opponent shouldn't be hitting you too much. And then you can keep the mouse at neutral, up for 3, down for 4, back 3, all those moves. And then you got forward 2 to whip punish wish as well. So I think a strong Asuka is a pain to deal with in the right hands.
Very true. It's very hard to be confident in your offense against Asuka because if a whiff or you're pressuring her, it's very easy to just get blown up very easily. She can turn your offense into you dying very, very quickly. Go ahead.
So and another aspect to her is like she's really strong Oki in this game. Like she's unblockable tech traps, like true unblockable tech traps, and then she has key charge tackles, resets with the down for 3 pickup. Yeah, so she can rob Rens like really easily, and her rage drive is like second best, I think, in the game.
Rage drive is really good.
Wait, who's the first best?
Xiaoyu.
Xiaoyu.
Yeah, Xiaoyu.
Really?
Yeah, because then even if they don't do the raid drives,
ridiculous.
you just do like Rain Dance 4. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, so like with Shay, she can do 1 down 2 and hit, and then it's straight up 50-50 from there because the rage drive frame traps as well from one down 2 and hit. So
it's
fair
a
enough.
Definitely best range
nasty. We don't have a lot of Link players in the East Coast, so Commander probably not too experienced with that. Ooh.
No, not at all.
We used to have Link
But that's
Massacre, but he old school and he gone now, I think. Maybe he's up in Boston. I don't know. Okay, so what would you say is when you're playing with Asuka in a match against an opponent you don't like know? Like, what is your first step to winning the game? Like, what is the thing you want to accomplish?
Well, like Asuka has the tools to stay safe, like I said, so you can like test her reactions while being safe at the same time, and then see what they like to do. Are they mashy? Start going for counter hits. Are they going to respect you? Start chipping up a bit, and then get them frustrated, and then look for a counter hit or a whip punish moment.
So very just mistake punishing. That's definitely what the theme of your playstyle is. It's just a lot of just like error killing errors, you know?
Yeah, it's just like I just hit people a lot. Like I do loads of those. I do a million lows, but people don't want to duck it because of 1+2. So I know that. So I keep going in with lows. So and then I just try and get them frustrated, get an opening from there.
Frustration seems to definitely be one of the key points with Asuka. Definitely frustration.
Yeah.
Commander, would you go over how would you play Asuka? Because it's a little bit different, but in the same vein. Because I think what he described was very true for a lot of Asuka players, but you are more extreme on certain things, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I guess the first thing that differs is I won't actually go in with lows.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Because yeah, I would prefer to go in with like 4-4-4-4-1 because I'd rather stay plus and then potentially get a counter hit for you trying to disrespect me. But overall, I just like to hang out. I know that everyone else wants to play the game and they want to hit buttons and get their mix-ups in and do what they want to do. And my style is just back off. I'll play when I want to play. So I'm going to hang out. The moment you do something, I'm forward toing. If I know the string, I'll sit there and take all the offense and I'll just wait to exploit whatever you do that's not safe or punishable. So, and then sometimes when people get super frustrated and then they start throwing, oh, I love it because I'm going to sit there and break it. And just nothing. I just like watching whatever the opponent doing or trying to do just not working.
Yes, you do a very, very, very patient playstyle. I think the Fergus's playstyle is actually kind of reminiscent of a lot of Steve's playstyle, with a lot of not in your face pressure all the time, but a lot of just safe stuff and then frustration building into error, and that's where you capitalize.
The one thing about her is like she has some moves that like pushes back on hit, so you have stuff like them back 3. Down to even down 4-4 and stuff like that. So like you kind of reset the neutral,
right? Yes,
and then puts her into optimal range to whip punish with 4-2.
And then on the other hand, Komanda's playstyle over here is very the opposite, where he will let the opponent have the game. You know, they'll have control of all this space for the to an extent, but he's just waiting for them to make a single error. Whereas it seems that while you're waiting for them to make the error, Fergus is trying to actively create the error. So it's interesting divergent playstyles, but they both are very viable and very interesting.
Yeah, I think people kind of need to understand, but Asuka's like, she's not like a traditional mid-low character.
No, I wouldn't say so either. No.
So like she is a kind of hit character. She is a whip punishment character. She's not like a mix-up character unless she's at the wall. So
man, that wall, it's I play Leo, so I can't really say anything about that.
I can't say anything.
Our wall game's still up there anyway. Our wall game's still up there for sure.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, we've talked about Asuka's strength. So we got like whiff punishment, we've got panic options, the best panic options in the game, defensively, of course. So she's a great turtle, a great turtle that really hard to be confident to attack, and it's really hard to just do stuff in her face and you expect not to die for it, But on the other side of things, Asuka's not a perfect character, so she definitely has some weaknesses, of course, right? I think every character in the game does, maybe except Deviljin, but So, Joe, what do you think is a problem that Asuka has as a character? It's in Tekken 7 anyways. Or if you want to extend it to previous Tekkens, go ahead.
Well, My biggest thing is her poking doesn't necessarily have, like, her poking, you can't just throw it out there. Like, you have characters like Bob, maybe Fang, where they can just kind of do stuff and it keeps you in check. I don't feel as though Asuka really has that, because if you do something like 1-1, like, you're like -6, -7 a lot. So they could try to take their turn back. So it's not like, unless you're going in with like 4-4, maybe 4-4-1, you don't really have anything like plus or super advantageous to kind of keep your opponent still, unless you're specifically looking to draw that out. So, and you reset neutral if you do it. So it's nothing that can really, you know, let you snowball on them.
Yeah, that's what I kind of mean by like Asuka's not like a mix-up character, so that's what I kind of mean. Like you're not gonna win by doing mid lows on your opponent, you know.
You're not gonna win on 1-1ing and, you know, into crowd the slide. I mean the sweep mix-up. Like you're not gonna win like that.
Yeah, like against people that are just happy to never duck and press buttons at the right time. You know, it can be a bit difficult, but I think like she's all about picking her moments to go in and picking moments to counter hit, and if they're going to attack you, she could win in that exchange. So,
anything else, Joe?
If only she had a 1-2 that was. All I want is her jab to be +1 or 2 on block, like the rest of the cast.
That would be nice, but
that would be amazing.
I don't understand why it's not natural. That's the weird thing. Does it do a lot of damage 1-2 by itself? No.
You get 1-2-4, but if you jab immediately afterwards, you can get a float combo. So
honestly, I think if her jab was plus, or if 1-1 was natural or something, I think that actually would be a bit broken. Because I think her jab.
Don't say that.
No, I'm sorry. I think her jab game is really strong right now, as of now. So I think if 1-1 was natural to shoot, it'd be really stupid, I think.
Okay, well, so I want to explore that a little bit. So you just said that her mix-up game is poor, but her jab game is strong. How do you connect those two? Like, how does that work?
Because, well, it is a mix-up. It's not a very rewarding mix-up, but it is one nonetheless. So they still have to guess between 1-1 mid or 1-3, 1-4 mid jab into low. So like she can really condition you to respect her jab game. So I think her jab not being plus on block is kind of moosh. It's like whatever, because she's like a million extensions afterwards.
So her jab follow-ups are good, which protect the fact that it's not plus on block, just single jab. Also, her regular jab kind of is a weird hitbox, I think. It's like a weird animation. It's not, you know, it's not a Kazumi jab, if you know what I mean.
No. The other thing is, like, she doesn't have a forward 1 jab, you know, like to extend the range. So that's one downside, because she actually has a forward 1 move. So, you know, like some characters can do tap forward 1 and then it kind of extends the jab reach a little bit. Yeah, she doesn't have that, unfortunately, but I think her jab game is still strong enough anyway.
I do too. I just don't have to condition for it.
You gotta work. Anyway, so you think that her offense is probably her weakest thing, Joe? It's like just the lack of mix-up, the lack of dangerous, like, oh, I gotta duck. You step at the wall, of course, because down 1+2 is pretty hefty. But Fergus, what do you think is, because you've had a lot of Asuka experience all over the EU, so it'd probably be a different perspective, maybe, or similar. I don't know.
Like her offense is weak, but I think if her offense was good, she'd be like, she'd be too strong. She'd be too strong. Like she wouldn't have any flaws. Yeah, she wouldn't have any flaws at all.
But that's what we want.
Hey man, if I can get a double tracking down forward one with Leo, you don't see me complaining about that.
You have literally everything else.
I don't have everything, trust me. When I do the Leo episode, you'll see why. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want off topic.
Alright, George. So like what she has for offense complements what she does best. So like her jab strings, you know, it kind of combines in with her panic stuff and her whip punishment. Her movement is decent. Like her backdash and side step is
it's alright. They're both good. Yeah, they're fine. Yeah.
And then she has side step 2 to condition people to respect, and it's safe anyway, even if they blocked it. And it has a tiny bit of pushback and block, so you still can kind of like move around a bit. So like I think what she has for offense, it's not great if you look at it on its own, but it does mix in well with her.
I think that's what you're saying. Like the fact that it's so like weird and frame data, like it creates a lot of their turn situations, so opportunity for counter hits or baits or whatever. But besides her offense, do you think she has any other problems in this game?
Oh, 10 frame punish.
Oh, yeah.
See, this is why I wanted my natural combo 1-2 or 1-1.
Yeah.
Like, I think if she had just a new move, like 1+2 or something like that, just like maybe a 15 damage punish or 20 damage punish or something, like just something that's not 9 damage.
If she had like a let's say like a Jack forward 2, but like not plus, but it does a lot of damage. I mean, it is plus for Jack, but let's say she had something like that. It's not plus, but does a lot of damage. That would be okay.
Yeah, that'd be grand, I think, because like some matchups are so like against her just because of that.
Yeah, Leo.
Like stuff that's like. Yeah, Leo's 4-4-2 or
4-4-2, sidestep 1+2, while standing 1+2, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Katarina's she's like a ghetto hop kick of 4-3+4.
Yeah,
like it can lead to a combo, and that's only -10 against her. And Fang's down 1+2 is super abusable on her. And there's loads of -10 moves in the game where I'm thinking, why do I only get a job on this?
Oh man, imagine if Asuka had Gigas as 10 frame Punisher.
Oh, I'll take that.
Oh my goodness.
Life would be great.
Life would be grand. Be heaven on earth. Okay, so just her block, but I think her block punishment in general is kind of weird. Well, I guess 12 frame is okay. 2-3, right?
12 frame is good. 12 frame is good.
2-3 is okay. It's just if you mess up the punish, that's not good. But it's like Bob. Bob has to deal with that too.
Yeah, the thing, the weird thing with Asuka is like,
sorry, go on. Joe, go ahead. Yeah.
She does have 2-1, so if you're not like super confident in the 2-3, you could throw that out first. So
that's true.
I think with Asuka, like, people kind of look at her as a kind of just scrubby character, but I think you have to be good with punishment with her because it's such a big jump from her 10 frame to her 12 frame, and with her 12 frame punish, you have to be confident in using it. Because like if you're late on 2-3, you're going to get launched against people who know
that's death.
And like you can't just settle on a jab punish against moves. It's not like Kasumi 1-1-2 or something. You just whatever, just do it because it's high damage anyway.
That's true.
Like you have to do 12 frame on -12 moves with Asuka because you're not going to do jab. You're losing a lot of damage. So I think with Asuka, you have to be good with punishment. And there's also a thing for her while standing punishment. While standing 2-1 is duckable. So if you're a bit slow, you're getting launched. While standing 1-4 is duckable. If you're a bit slow in that, you're going to get launched. So you have to be good with punishment with Asuka.
Yes.
I believe in that. You have to be good with her.
Joe, you would agree with this?
Yeah, and if you have the execution for it, for while standing, you can launch punish some things. Like if you did like crouch cancel down 4-2, or in some rare cases crouch cancel 1+2, you can launch some lows that otherwise you would settle for while standing 1-4. So you have to be really on point if you want to get the most out of her punishment.
Yeah, you have to be good at punishment with her, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like genuine, you have to know like frame data and genuinely be good at punishment with her.
I would agree with this. She's definitely a character that if she blocks things, she can't let things slide because she doesn't get a lot of damage in that scenario anyway. So she might as well get as much as she can. Because
you can't go for easier punishment, in my opinion.
I would imagine
because each like punishment is a big jump in damage from the previous.
Yeah.
So jab to 2-3 while standing 4-2 while standing 2-1. You can't just settle. You have to move on and punish optimally.
Very, very true. Especially since her low block punishment is not the best, especially because the wall standing 3 is so slow and very unfortunate. Hey, Commander, weren't you talking about a move that was like you have to crouch cancel while standing up? I mean, crouch cancel 1+2. There's a move that's very, very specific to punish.
So there are a few of them. I don't have them written down, but when East does his mix-up heavy low, you have to crouch cancel 1+2 to get a full
on the mid or low mix-up thing in the string, right? Yeah, okay.
Because while standing 3 is too slow, down 4-2 he's considered ducking, so you don't get the full launch. So you have to 1+2 or back 3, but 1+2 is safer.
That's true. That's true. I wonder what Geese can do against back 3. All right, so far we have.
I don't think Geese can punish him. Unless he's like he blocks out the wall, he can do like back 3-2, but in the open he can't punch it at all. I think.
Okay, I guess too much pushback.
And his moves are too slow as well. Like forward 4 I think might reach, but I can't remember if it's too slow or not.
No, I think that might be. I don't think that reaches. That's not that far. Anyway, so we have Asuka's sort of pros and cons here kind of labeled. So she's clearly a punishing character. She's clearly a lot about mistake killing and just like you press something, you're gonna die. Whether it's a whiff, whether it's like a counter hit or whatever. Like she's definitely a mistake killer, but her starting things on her own, like making you scared of her, seems to be one of her biggest downsides. It's just that her mix-up game in the open is not really that scary.
But at the wall, it's really good. At the
wall, right, because the down 1+2, that's the thing that puts it all together. Very, very scary. Especially since in this game, she does a lot of damage to it, combos.
Yeah, her common damage is good in this game for sure.
That
like,
rage, right?
In the vanilla version of Tekken 7, she had like the worst damage I put in the game, I think. It was definitely bottom 3 damage I put. So
yeah,
like,
I don't remember her damage being that high.
Yeah, I just remember watching Viacron. He goes by Hurricane now. And I just remember watching him playing Tekken 7 Vanilla, and every time he got a 4-2, it only did like 30%, and it was just so depressing to watch.
God, Joe would hate that. Oh my god. Okay, interesting. So if you were to play against Asuka, I guess the best thing you should do is just not be scared of her, I guess. Not let her...
Be super patient.
Just
be super patient.
Right.
The mirror match is so fun because as soon as they back 3, forward 2, and it's so great.
Yeah, I love the mirror. I love the mirror so much. Like I have a streak in the mirror for about 3 years now, I think.
Nobody can topple this guy in EU Asuka. Oh, snap.
So that means when I get to EU, that first attempt is
I might lose it. I might lose it, yes.
Joe's a smart guy. Joe's a smart guy. Is there any other Asukas in the EU besides you, by the way? Dinosaur?
Malik. Oh, no, Dinosaur is a Prime player.
Okay, Malik. I thought he was an Asuka player. Anyways.
Malika still plays Asuka? I see a lot of pull from him these days.
Yeah. He's not really traveling to tournaments this year, but he's still around. Like, he's the reason I started playing Tekken competitively, like... So
an Asuka player to look up to?
In a way.
Is that what it is? Like an Asuka player to look up to?
They look up to someone else and look up to another Asuka.
That's funny because Fergus is the guy I looked up to.
See, look at this train. This is a happy stream. All right, we're talking about back 3s and 4-2s.
Positive vibes.
Positive vibes. We're Sour Pig. You get them in here. Anyway, so what was I gonna say? All right, so now that we've got that on the table here, I'm going to bring up your top 10 moves. It's going to show up on this stream, but it's probably going to be delayed for you guys, so I'll just read it out.
Sure.
Both of you listed a lot of the same moves, which is, I think, good because it shows that you both have a strong understanding of the character, that you both recognize that these are definitely good tools. You both listed forward 2, down 3+4, down 2, down forward 1, down back 3, forward 4, and 1+2. After that, that's where it diverges. Okay, so, for example, I know, Fergus, you told me you had a hard time listing this, which is okay, because this is supposed to be difficult to last top 10 instead of, like, top 20 or something. Fergus listed down back 4, but Komanda did not, and that's a low, actually, I don't see him throw out a lot. Komanda, would you say... well, let me go over, like, what he thinks about this move. Why wouldn't you use down back 4?
It's matchup dependent for me. Like, I'll use it against characters like Mishima's, or where, like, there's a very noticeable high that I should be trying to avoid because it's a high crush. But I kind of tie that into the jab string because I will use that as, like, 1-4. I will certainly do that. But on its own, I've gotten low parried for it too many times for me to just want to throw it out.
You mean out of a string or in the open?
In the open.
In the open. Interesting.
At least I can mix it up with 1-3 to kind of throw their timing off.
That is true.
That's why I say that. But on its own, unless I'm looking for like electrics to go under or, you know, like Claudio while running 2 maybe, I don't really use it that much.
Interesting. It's interesting. So it's just a load that doesn't have a lot of like value to you. Like you could use better things. Is that what you say?
There's certainly value, but I wouldn't put it over down back 3.
Both of you have down back 3, and I know that is a good low. That's probably her best low poke. Both of you would agree with this?
Well, debatably, I think.
Debatably? Okay. So you go ahead. Explain why you like down back 4 and compare to down back 3.
Well, those two lows are very, very different because down back 3, I think, is used more defensively because it pushes back on hit. So you're going back to range 2 when you hit them with down back 3. Down back 4 starts your offense. So like you approach them, you're neutral in hits, and then you can move from there. You can from crouching game, you can interrupt them with while standing forward, then jab afterwards, and also you can use your movement to sidestep and backdash and bait whips. So I think down back 4 is offensive low, and down back 3 is defensive low.
Interesting.
And so they're very different lows to me. So I couldn't really say one is better than the other, you know, because they're just so different.
But what would you say makes down back 4 the offensive low? Because it keeps them close, or just because of mix-ups afterwards?
It just keeps you close. And the thing is, this sounds grubby, but it does work. Trust me. Like down back 4-4.
He hit me with that yesterday.
That was for you, Fergus. Yes, I
he hit me with that yesterday. I was like, well, he did it. This guy did it.
It was actually a lot better inside too, because down back 4-4-3 was a natural combo. Like if the second hit connected, the launcher was guaranteed. But that was a nerf in Tekken 7, and I was actually pretty hurt by that, because I actually did use that a lot inside too. Like I'd do like start around 1-4-4-3, so the jab, low, and then launcher, and it will work. Because the way it works is people might respect you after down back 4 on hit, or they might press a button, or they might try and move after down back 4 on hit. So that's when you can start throwing in extensions in, and they could press a button, you can counter it launcher. If they don't press a button, you're like even more plus. I think you're like +4 on hit, and then it's safe on block anyway. So if they blocked it, but then low parry, it's safe on block. So I think it's useful. I think, and then you can make them respect you with the follow-ups for sure.
That is true. The follow, because if you do press up, you will get counter hit launch. It's 0 on hit, right, or something.
0 on hit, yes.
0
and the second one is plus on hit.
You know, there are times when 0 on hit is like, or block is like one of the best scenarios you could possibly want in the game, because it's either you could press something or you could not press anything. Like your reaction afterwards is ambiguous. That's why I like Noctis sidestep 2 so much.
Yeah. It's probably for that reason that I don't put it like
because
top 10.
you're not aggressive. That's what it is. Well,
because it's neutral, so like they can do anything, I can do anything, so I still use it defensively. But if I would rather use down back 3 for that instead of down back 4.
Well, down back 4 has the high crush, so I think that helps a lot, and it can go under some mids.
Hey, does down back 4 track to sidestep? Right? You know.
It tracks.
I've been stepped before.
To her right. It tracks to her right.
Oh, so it tracks to sidestep left then.
It does, yeah.
Okay. Because I know down back 3 does not track sidestep right. Interesting. So I think that's very telling of your two different styles, because Fergus uses that low more often because he's not afraid to go in, but Komanda's definitely a lot more retroactive defensive player. And let's see what else we have here. Both of you have that.
Just another thing on Denbat 3.
Yeah.
The fact it leaves you on crouch on hit, and if Asuka is on player 2 side, you can't step under a Denbat 3 because they can't step to the weak. They can't step to the weak direction on player 1 side in crouching. So I think that's it. So she can almost like loop-ish, and then force them to challenge it eventually, or she can just keep going, and then if they mash out or duck, you can blow them up for that 1+2 or one punish them or something.
I think you should be looking at this move more often, Joe. Seems like it has a lot of. It seems like it has a lot of potential here.
I use it.
Not enough, clearly. And Komanda here has up forward 3 listed, but you do not have it, Fergus. What is your opinion on up forward 3, Fergus? For the chat, a 4-3 is the Asuka hop kick. That's not a hop kick. It only launches on counter hit, but it's like -3 on block, and quite a bit plus on hit, I think.
+9 on hit.
Quite a bit on plus on hit, and it's a very fast low crush, right? Should be 16 frames, something like that, around there. It's kind of a fast move.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, right? Anyways, okay.
But I think like up 4-3 on hit. 1+2 afterwards, you can't duck it, you can't press buttons against it, and you can't step it. So it's like a really good flowchart afterwards. So it beats so many options at once. So they're like, okay, I'm gonna block or backdash it, and then you can start doing lows on them or something.
I mostly use that move because it's part of the keep out, and it's part offense. It's only -3 on block, so I can still sidestep after it, and usually that's one of the primary ways I can bait out a whiff up close. And it's a good defensive move that I like, that I often might go to.
Yes, I do notice you like to bait things a lot with that move, sidestep, backdash, or cans even sometimes right after that. Fergus, do you use that move a lot or not really?
I use it quite often. But like with regards to top 10, like I said, I think Asuka is a really situational character. So like nearly all of her moves are good. They're just used in like certain situations where they're like, okay, I can just do this, I can just do this, I can just do this, you know, in general usage. So so like I couldn't really put down a top 10. It'd be like top 20, top 30, you know.
Right. That's why that's why it makes it so difficult, is because, you know, it's top 10 levels. Yeah, it is hard. That's hard. That's why I didn't extend it to the top 15, because, you know, I wanted to really pick out like what did you feel was the best, and that's what makes it interesting. But good, you know, it's good that both of you respect that this move is a strong move. It just, Fergus doesn't think it's as useful all the time, but it's still obviously a very strong move. Both of you has 1+2 as well. Fergus does not have forward 1 listed, which is interesting because that's a lot of Asuka players' like new favorite move. Is
it?
I think a lot of Asuka players use it, but I don't know. Maybe people forget about it because it is brand new, so people forget that they have it. I don't know, but it's been a while. It's almost a year since Tekken 7 came out, so people gotta wake up already.
I do not see people use that move as often as maybe you do, so I need to see what Asuka players you're watching. But I love it. Like 441 to me is what down back 4 is to Fergus. I will go in with that. That's the move I would rather go in with, because we call it the ghetto drag while running too, but it's so good. And then more often than not, you will sit there and respect whatever I do afterwards. And if not, it's an easy mistake. It's an easy mistake to punish.
That's a very easy mistake. Yes.
So I love it. And then her rage drive comes off of it. So
yeah, guaranteed rage drive is pretty handy off it.
Oh, that guaranteed rage drive.
Yeah. Oh, she's 20 different guaranteed rage drive setups.
I know. That thing hurts quite a bit. It's one of the better ones of the whole spiking rage drive.
For sure. It's the best. It's the best one for that, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Well, Dragunov, but his doesn't do as much damage, I think.
His doesn't hit Grandis. That's the main thing.
Does it not?
Yeah, you have to actually get a combo.
It hits moving opponents on the grounds, but it doesn't hit like natural. Like,
okay. That makes more sense. Any reason you didn't list forward 1, or just the same reasons before? It's just there's too many moves.
With forward 1, I don't really like it in the open because it's too like if you whiff it, you're just gonna die. Like everyone can whip punish that move.
Yeah.
So
negative 5 billion on whiff.
But I do like it when they tech roll, because like I was saying to Joe earlier, if you don't have a read on your opponent, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know if they're going to duck. You don't know if they're going to stand block. So it's a win-win situation for you to throw a ledge, because if they duck, you get knocked down or wall splat. If they block it, you got plus frames to work with. So it's a win-win situation for you to throw a ledge there if you don't know what they're going to do, obviously. So, but in the open, I don't really like it, because if they step it or backdash, it's just
too risky for you.
It's too risky,
right? I mean, if you mess it up at all, you're dead. Like it's delayed hop kick, pretty much.
Yeah, you can delay hop kick. It's like even. It's just so bad on whiff.
Interesting. So you know that's actually really interesting, because while Joe is definitely the more defensive player, he's not afraid to use that move. Whereas Fergus is the more aggressive player. He's actually kind of afraid to use it in the open because of the potential. The potential dying off of making that move mess up. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's pretty slow as well, so you're so prone to being counter hit out of it. So I'm not a big fan of it.
It is pretty slow. Well, Asuka needs to learn more lessons than Dragunov, but at least if it's blocked or if it connects, it does help you quite a bit, you'd say.
It does.
Does it have any kind of tracking at all? I notice at the wall sometimes it could clip me if I try to step.
Really,
it's kind of linear, yeah.
It's just a big
because it's a dash motion, so you can realign.
She can realign, yeah. Well, it's just 4-4 motion, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. A lot of dash moves do that. Now the big one here that everybody in the chat's gonna blow up as soon as I say it. Fergus has back 3 listed, yet it's nowhere on Komanda's list.
Oh dear.
Okay. I want the man to hear it from the man himself. Fergus, let's talk about back 3. All right. Let's go talk about whatever you want with the move. Why is it good? Why is back 3 so good?
It's so
hashtag
cheap.
back 3 in the chat. Come on.
It is a ridiculous move, and like I think if you're an Asuka, you have to use it. Like if you don't use back 3, you're playing like half the potential Asuka has, I think, because like everyone's like, oh yeah, it's a cheap kind of meme move as well, but
it's very memey.
It's very, very good move. It's hard to whip punish. It's hard to block punish. It's a natural launcher on hit. It tracks to her weak side up close.
No, it does.
It crushes lows.
And highs
so like
sometimes.
Well, midway, but not too often. But definitely low crush. Definitely low crush.
Yeah, definitely low crush. Definitely low crush.
And some characters just straight up struggle to punish it. Like Horang can punish it. Geese can punish it most of the time. Shay has to just frame punish on it with forward. Lee has to just frame punish with forward. It's just so awkward for so many characters. And I'm actually really surprised it got buffed in this game. It went from -23 to -17 or -18. I was like, I'm thinking when I read that, I was like, that's really unfair. That's really stupid.
Damn, no one barely even punished that anyways. They're so awkward
exactly.
to punish.
No one punished it inside two. No one's, and even less people.
You know what it is? It's like throwing out a random shoulder from like a Fang or Paul. It's like you don't expect them to do that because like why would they throw out like a launch punishable move, and they don't know when you're gonna do it. That's why it makes it so hard to punish. That's
the thing. Like there's a surprise factor, but then there's also the execution of punishing the move itself.
Awkward inputs. Right. My character's easy punish word, but.
Well.
Anyways, so Komanda, you are a heathen according to the chat. All the Asuka players are roasting you right now, but
okay, it is fine. You can massacre me if you want it.
Why did you not pick this move in your top 10?
Okay, so when I made the top 10, I made it in terms of moves that I absolutely cannot go without in a match. And you play me a lot. I will only back 3 maybe like once or twice.
Yeah, I could see Fergus's eyes like blowing up. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, it works whenever I decide to do it. But I like putting it on the back burner because I don't have to rely on it. Because the one moment that I do find somebody who can punish it, I don't want to be that guy who has to still back 3. I don't want to be that guy. But I like you to, when you play me, I like for you to forget about it so that the moment you think, all right, I have this number, I'm going to go in, that's when it works. So I like using it kind of like the last line of defense.
Like, even if they're ready for it, even if they know it's coming, it's still hard to punish. So it's not like, oh, I got you with this surprise move. It's like, I'm going to do this move because I know you can't punish it. You know, that's the way I kind of think of it.
It reminds me of Rage Art. Sometimes because it's like there are people that always forget about it, like they never use Rage Art right defensively, and then there's some people that will like as soon as they're like being pressured, they're red, boom, Rage Art. You know, it's always the surprise factor. You never know whether this is an Asuka player that will throw it out or this is an Asuka player who will not really throw it out like Joe over here. So it's always that fear is always there,
Like, and it depends on the setting too. That depends on because everything about me will change in a match depending on how I'm feeling about it. Like, if I'm feeling good and I'm feeling confident, then sure, I might actually use it and just throw it out. But if I'm thinking of it like tournament or like real 1-to-5 setting, I probably wouldn't use it as much.
Interesting. So you
personally, I think.
Go ahead first.
Sorry, no. In tournament setting, use it even more because people are like, because people are nervous. They're not going to get their punishes unlocked.
It's true. He has a point.
So definitely back 3 in tournaments. Like my results speak for themselves. back three, man.
Yeah, look at this guy, EU champion over here, TWT finalist using that back 3. Back 3
got me there, man. Back 3 got me there.
Yeah, without back 3, this guy wouldn't have all them trophies and stuff.
I have none. I actually have none.
Oh, okay. Well, you have some medals, I assume.
Yeah, so what's gonna happen is Fergus is gonna be a champion with back 3, and then I'll use it sparingly, and then it'll be
a more honest, honorable Asuka.
Trust me, man. Use back 3, you'll beat Judas there, man. You beat me, you beat all of them.
Oh man. Oh, back 3. More back 3. Okay. So let's finish with one more move here on the top 10 list. So. Komanda is a big fan of the jab strings, the 1-1, 1-2. What is it? The back. I guess the back 2 stuff wouldn't really count, but 2-1 stuff, all that stuff. You like doing a lot of those jab mix-ups, but we were saying earlier how her jab mix-up isn't very strong in reward, but it's there to create frustration and hesitation.
Yeah, that's why I like it because at least I appreciate it way more than than a long time ago. But yeah, you can condition them to respect the jab. And then once that happens, the world is open. Now I can just go in with 4-4-1 because you're hesitating. So I like using it to I can chip with the lows down back 4 with 1-4, 1-3, but then now I can create down the line. It'll create a bigger opportunity. So that's why I like it.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I think Fergus probably say the same thing. Probably just a lot of hesitation and stuff like that. And one more question before we move on from top 10. What do you guys feel about back 4? I know Fergus has it listed, but Komanda does not.
Back 4. It's like one of those like top 11, top 12 because I enjoy it. Like I use it on at Oki, like especially around the wall. So I do like it a lot. And then it's counter hit back. Even though it's punishable, which I wish they didn't do.
Is it punishable?
It's -11.
But back 4 on its own, it's safe.
Should have been hitting
back
for
4
that
is on
shit.
its own, it's safe. But back 4-2 is like that.
Right, it has the follow up, right? Yeah.
So I do I enjoy it, but I probably it's barely outside of top 10 for me.
And Fergus, what do you think about back 4? You have it listed here, so obviously you like it quite.
I do, yeah. I think it's really good. The big thing about it is like it's +8 on hit. Like it's huge frame advantage on hit.
Chunky. Damn.
So it frame traps into itself, so back 4 and hits into back 4. It tracks one way pretty well. It doesn't track
sidestep right. I believe sidestep right.
Yeah. Yes, it doesn't track that. But it's good hitbox. It has a low hitbox, so it hits stuff at its stances and so great frame advantage, +8 on hits, crazy. Tracks one way, great hitbox, follow-up extensions to make them a bit scared on block. But personally I don't throw it at that too much because when you do back 4 and it counter hits, but you do the follow-up, you just get a spike.
Oh, you don't get the combo, right?
Yeah, you don't get a combo. So, like, for me, I just use back 4 on its own, like 99% of the time, just back 4 on its own.
Makes sense.
But the extension is there to scare them a little bit, but I think it's too risky for what it does.
Speaking of back 4, oh shit, I just had a really great question. Now, I freaking forgot about it. Holy crap! It just completely left the train station in my brain. If I had the back 4, yeah. Whatever. I'll remember it later. Anyways, so that's pretty good discussion about top 10 moves. So otherwise, you guys have a lot of similar back. A lot of similar top 10 moves. You have forward 2, cans, down 2. Both of you have that. Down forward 1, down back 3. Both of you have that. Forward 4. Oh man, that move's cheap AF.
They're on the Frigidor. They're on the door.
And both of you have Arc Blast as well. These are all very stable Asuka moves. For those of you in the chat who aren't aware about Asuka yet, forward 2 is her meaning Whiff Punisher. It's very far. It's not that slow. Is it 17, right?
17.
17, right? 17, right? Does a lot of damage, a lot of range. It's launch punishable on block, but you can cancel it. It's hard to block punish that too because it's kind of hard to.
It just happens, yeah.
Yeah, it just happens, yeah. Down 3 +4 is cans, 14 frame counter hit, low high launcher does a lot of damage if it connects. It is
the low key.
Yeah, go ahead.
With cans, it pushes back on hit as well.
Yes, very safe.
I was saying that to show earlier. So even if you didn't counter hit them with cans, you still reset the neutral because it pushes back on hit. So it's still a really good panic move in that aspect as well.
Right. Have you ever tried killing with cans? Because it's so hard to see.
All the time.
All the time. Mm-hmm.
I do. Sometimes. If you see me play and I end rounds with 2 string, so I do back 2-1, back 2-4. I sometimes do back 2-1-4, which is the can's ender, and they'll chip kill them.
Oh, that's so smart. Yeah.
Because it does like 6 damage, and no one really expects it.
Yeah, just.
And then she has a mid option as well with back 2-1-3. So if they I'm duck cans, they'll just eat the mid.
Mm-hmm. Down 2, is that an elbow down 2, by the way? No, I don't know if it is. I'm not sure.
It's not.
You can parry it.
Okay, you can parry it. Down 2 is one of her best mid pokes. It's very far range. It forces crouch on block.
I am a pioneer of Dente.
A lot of damage on, a lot of plus on hit, and it launches on counter hit. Yes. Yes. Okay. Linear though, right? I believe so.
Yeah.
It tracks sidestep left a tiny bit.
Okay. Down forward 1. She has a pretty standard down forward 1. Decent mix up. Down forward 1-2 or down forward 1-4. Pretty decent, Okay mix up.
It's good frames on hit for a down forward 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's like plus +7, +8 or
Yeah,
so.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Down back 3 here, primary low poke. You know, well, for most situations, anyways. Forward force or homing move. That's really no. It's slow, isn't it? It looks fast, but it's kind of slow, I think. And it's +4-ish on block, and then if
three,
+3, and if it knocks down, it's a launcher. If you're close, does it matter what range you are?
It's really inconsistent though. Like the combo of 4-4 is really inconsistent, especially when the step. Like people do 4-4 combos in training mode, so it's on axis. They're going to get the combo, but you're using it as a homing move, so they're going to step. So you're going to get an off-axis combo. So you're never going to get a combo normally. So I just do Denbar 4-3 always, and then I do the 4-3 spin, and then I'm in their face for a mix-up.
It depends for me. Yeah. Sometimes I go for it, but other times you can get forward 2, and it'll be a combo. So it depends. Sometimes I just want to go for the damage because maybe the 50-50 isn't always working. So just go for the damage.
Yeah. For me, it's like the 4-2 whiffs. Sometimes like I don't like that inconsistency, and like it only adds on about 4 or 5 damage anyway. So I prefer just do 4-3 cancel and then beat interface immediately for a mix-up. Like she has time to do a down 1+2 if they tech roll off it. So
yeah, it does knock down for quite a long time. I mean, you can launch off it, so it's a long like knockdown.
Yeah.
And then of course both of you have Arc Blast, which is the main reason you don't want to duck Asuka at range 0.
Of course.
The main
just do it.
Right. If you don't know, if the chat, 1+2 with Asuka is a very, very short range and very linear, right? It's super linear.
Yeah. It's good if you dash in or if they tech roll into it.
Right.
And they're just random.
It's a high damage launcher mid, very short range, but it's 16 frames. And it's safe. It's -9, which you lose your turn, but mainly because you can't see it coming at all. It's one of the main reasons why you do not duck Asuka. Mostly ever, but of course at range 0, that's when you definitely don't want to duck Asuka because of forward 4. I mean, not forward 4, sorry, 1+2. All right, cool. So that was a good discussion about top 10 moves. All right, so now we're gonna get back to more of the the opinions of the the character itself and the gameplay. So let's start with Joe since I've been asking Fergus to go a lot. Komanda, who do you think in the cast list? What is like a character where it's like when you play them, really easy to really dominate the match, very easy to not necessarily bully, but like theoretically bully, like you're winning very easily because the matchup is so skewed. What do you think? Favorite matchup?
I think that's rather difficult. For me, I would probably say a character that can't, like, just me personally, a character that can't backdash, so probably like Bears. Even sometimes Eddie, because I like to go in with 4-4-1, and because they can't sidestep easily, they just now have to take that abuse. So that that's personally, but I don't particularly think that she runs over anyone. I think matchups become a little bit more in favor, like Paul or something, where you can punish forward 2 some of their key moves. But I wouldn't say there's many matchups that I was just like, oh, it's free because I have Asuka.
Interesting. So you don't think there's many like very positive matchups for Asuka? Maybe like matchups where she has good things, but not overwhelmingly strong.
Yeah. And maybe that's partly reflects on how I play, because I'm not necessarily gonna run through someone either. I just like to enjoy watching you squirm from not playing how you want to play. So I guess I'm not necessarily taking the offensive as much either to maybe even exploit those kind of things.
It's not necessarily like aggressively bullying them, but like it's a matchup where they are limited in the ways that they can play against you. You know what I mean? Like you have things that counter their best things, but you can't think of an example too much. You're saying?
Yeah. Nah.
Okay, Fergus. What about you?
I think she wins a few matchups. I think she wins against Lee, for example, because Lee cannot punish back 3. He has to do it just from 4-4-3 on back 3. So I think like back 3 being abusable and Lee helps a lot. She's really strong against Eddie because she's great moves for relax. She can afford to punish a lot of things from Eddie, and 1+4 is great for picking them up from relax. And
does it float relax really?
It floats relax, yeah.
Ooh, wow,
like if he does like back 3-3 or something on block, or while standing 1-3.
Yeah.
She's good against Law. I think she's really good against Law because
back 3 every flip kick or 1+2.
It's just more like she has the tools to deal with his offense.
Right, because
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
very hard for him to stay in your face because of the panic options. On the plus side, he can launch back 3 easily.
I think she's good against Jack as well.
Jack, because
Because of like, if he threatens her with lows, like she can blow them up so hard, more than most characters.
Yeah.
Like lows that are normally safe against people becomes really risky on Asuka because of stuff like can-cans.
Yeah.
Mm.
Can-Can's up 4-3.
Up 4-3, down 4-4. Having a 12 frame mid against Jack is really helpful.
Speaking of the low crush moves, do you guys ever go for up forward 4?
Up 4-4.
Isn't
Not really.
the big hop kick, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like personally, it's like, why did I do that when I can do can-cans? You know.
Thank you, Fergus. Thank you.
Then the Asuka players in agreement. Interesting. So Jack. Okay, go on.
Like I will use up 4-4 in the FC mix-up if I know they're gonna duck, because it's only like when I start doing like standard hop kick punish. So like I do like 4-2 cancel, and they're like, okay, he's gonna do phone crunch and down 4-2, and I just hop kick instead. So that's like the only reason I will use it.
Maurice, Dancer in the chat is saying Jack gives them problems. So you think that Asuka's good against Jack just because of the lows are not as effective?
Yeah, because the low crushes, 12 for mid is really good, really handy against Jack. She has consistent punishers on down 4-2.
Yeah.
Up 4-2 always reaches? Or 2?
Up 4-2.
Up 4-2.
Up 4-2 reaches usually all the time.
And it's a good punish too. It's like, what is it, 35 something knockdown?
40.
40?
And
Woof! Longer than I thought.
40.
Damn.
This might be a bit weird, but I think she destroys Shay. Like, I think that matchup is heavily in her favor. She can't punish back 3. Back 3 hits.
I've heard that before somewhere too. Yeah, keep going, yes.
She's great buttons for AOP. Like back 3, back 4, down 2.
Down to the greatest.
Down 2 is probably my favorite move for her,
Wow,
to
that's
be honest.
interesting that down 2 would hit since it's so linear and AOP has like a mini sidestep in it. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, and back 3 blows up AOP, and her punish on back 3 is a just frame 4-4-2-1, like Lee. So back 3 is really beatable in her. And like I said, great buttons against AOP and so on.
Anything else?
I think those are the matchups that comes to mind. I think like she does win.
Okay, makes sense. She has a lot of like limiting their options. So limiting AOP is probably one of the most determining factors of being good against Ling. Is if you could take that out of the equation of a matchup, it becomes a lot harder for your average Ling player to win. Since a lot of Ling players, no offense to you, Xiao people out there, but they do use it a lot as a crutch to win games.
It's true.
It's true. It is true. If you take that away from them, they're kind of lost unless they are solid at Tekken themselves.
And
go ahead.
Just to throw this out there, you can make characters with really like abusable highs, like Machine Electrics. You can give them a hard time because you have down back 2, which can high crush it, down back 1. If you time it right, you can get down back 4-3 on counter hit. So,
oh wow, that would be really
so
hard.
you can take away some of those high options from Mishimas.
Interesting.
So that's something.
Okay, makes sense. Like a lot, she does have a lot of not necessarily like evasive, but she does have a lot of moves that have properties like that in them, like low crushes and high crushes and whatnot, especially back 3. So we have Eddie, Xiaoyu, Jack, and what was a Law as well.
Law, Lee,
right? Those are another one, right? Anyone that can't really deal with back 3 or is like overtly has a hard time dealing with the panic options. Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting, and her block punishment good too. Interesting, makes sense. Good thoughts from both sides. I think a lot of it has to do with just a lot of people who, even if they are successful at not falling into a panic option, they have to just sit there and come back to neutral. Ugh. That's terrible. When you have something that's punishable but you can't reach it, that's the worst. That's the worst. So what about on the opposite end of things? We have poor matchups. Asuka's no stranger to this. I think she definitely has matchups in the game which she struggles in. So Fergus, why don't you introduce us with some of that?
Okay, I think her bottom 5 worst matchups are Brian, Leo.
Oh, yes, Brian,
Leo, Katarina. Katarina. I had Fang. Fang is another one, and Oh, I forgot to say, she does well against Horang as well, of course.
Oh, I would imagine
she does
that.
well
Yeah,
against...
I would imagine that too, yes.
But yeah, for bad ones, it's Fang, Leo, Katarina, Brian, and...
You said Fang.
Fang, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. Is there one more you're missing? I lost count. I'm bad at math.
Can't really think of a fifth one that really stands out. I think Steve can be troublesome for her.
Steve.
Yeah, I don't like Kasumi matchup as well.
Nobody likes the Kazumi matchup. Nobody likes. All right, let's be clear here. Nobody likes fighting Kazumi. No matter what character you are, even if you're Kazumi, you don't like fighting Kazumi. But anyway, so let's walk through those matchups. So let's start with Brian. What do you think is bad about Brian?
Purely the minus 10 moves.
Mm-hmm. A lot of that, yeah. He does have a lot of that kind of stuff.
Is it just me, but most of his lows are like, what, minus 13, maybe 14? Like, I know his low soccer kick, all she gets is like while standing 2-1, which isn't like...
Yeah,
it's not great,
that's pretty rough. He does...
And the tracking on that is so ridiculous.
His low soccer is one of the best low pokes in the game for a reason.
Yes, and we can't even really make him pay for it. So
he could just do it. I mean, you could, can-cans, but that move, I feel like sometimes it's hard to predict because it's slow. It's slow-ish. It's like on the border of being seeable, but also not seeable. You know what I mean? Like, those are also the kind of moves that are like hard to low parry to at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you think that Brian's range factor has anything to do with it? Like, he is a long-range character. Not that long.
Yeah, I think 3+4 is troublesome for Asuka, but I think it's bad mainly because the minus 10 moves, like while standing 3, from Gretchen down forward 4, down forward 1 series. Like he's just so many beautiful things on her that he can just do almost risk free against her. So that's the main thing.
Right.
That's the main thing.
Okay. Moving on to Leo, I think I know a good amount of why this is the case, but go ahead.
While standing for 1+2.
While standing for 1+2.
That's it.
While standing for 1+2, forward 4-2, side step 1+2, all the -10 stuff. A lot of elbows too, and knees. Can't really parry that either.
Honestly, the elbows and knees don't really bother me as much until it's just while standing 1. That's not while standing 4. It's just that. That's really just it.
Also, she has back plus 1+4. The low you can't can it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We can't launch the knockdown low. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, that too. I forgot about that.
But the biggest thing I think is like Asuka has to hit the opponent a lot. But, like, that's the character. Yeah. But if Leo blocks a low, like even just a small low poke from Asuka,
boom.
Asuka's gonna take like 2.5 damage.
Boom.
Like 2.5 times the damage that she would have done on Leo. So I think the risk reward against Leo is just never in your favor.
It's a tough matchup. It's a tough matchup for sure because you have to work a lot harder to get damage as opposed to Leo, where not only can she abuse a lot of moves now that normally would be unsafe against other characters and risky it, but also if she blocks something one of yours, you're gonna get hurt quite a bit, no matter if it's low or mixed, since her punishment either standing or crouching is very good in general.
Yeah, and she's good punishment against back 3.
4+2, right? Yeah, it reaches all ranges, right?
4-4-2.
That too.
4-4-4-3 on whiff as well.
You're right on whiff. If you try the follow-ups, back 1 will be a launcher, and it's a punisher too. So if it connects and it's not counter hit, it's a force mix-up, so you can't sidestep.
Yeah, and then she can step back 1-4, but it's higher than quite a few characters.
This guy does it though, but he puts in work. So.
I play you too much. That's why I'm staying silent. I play you too much.
You do play me a lot. But we also have who was the other one you said? There was after Leo. You said
Fang and Katrina.
Right, let's talk about Fang. What do you think about Fang?
Fang is more of a personal thing for me because in Ireland we have a Fang player from up north in Ireland, and like not a lot of people know this, but he is a stronger player than me. So like every time I play him, I just feel like he can just do all these things to me, like that, like the -10 moves, and Fang's Kempo stance is really good against Asuka in my opinion because.
Oh, you know what? I see why. Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Yeah, because she wants to play the neutral. She wants to reset the neutral a lot. But if she hits Fang and he does Kempo stance, her reward on reading the Kempo stance isn't very high. Like say if you're a Bob and you know he's going to do Kempo stance, you would do Hell Sweep or something. With Asuka, if you read a Kempo stance, your reward is you just get like a little damage poke, low poke, like or just dash in and mix up, and that's not very rewarding because her offense is bad. And like
go ahead.
Back one against Asuka is risk free. It's risk free. She can launch them back 3. That's another thing as well.
Oh, that's rough too. Yeah.
There's just a lot of things like, and he can steal the life leads back quite easily against Asuka.
He does
like Asuka. Yeah. So I think it's just bad in many ways. I think I don't like them.
I remember you complaining about Kotosuka Ford 1 on Twitter before.
Oh, like
that movie is pretty obnoxious. It's true.
I think it's broken. Like I think it's genuinely broken. Like it should be low parryable, 100%. It should be launch or low parryable, one of them, because it does too much for -14.
And a counter launcher, and it goes under a lot of mids. It's crazy. It's
ridiculous.
If we're on those personal bad matchups, then I guess
keep going.
I guess the one personal bad matchup I don't like is I don't like Jin. I feel like if you're playing a really good Jin who can control, he has good pokes to control the space with, which I think is something.
Forward 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, down forward 1. His jabs. He's poking. Yeah. He's a very good poking character. He's like the poking Mishima almost, except for zooming. I don't know.
And because his pokes are a little bit quicker, like you can get like easily floated out of any panic attempts, and it's really a lockdown situation that. Even though, yes, technically she has answers like I could parry and whatnot, but usually she can do a decent job of controlling how the opponent moves as well. So I think Jin contests, at least personally, when in neutral. So I personally don't like Jin. And his down back 4,
that meaty low, right? Yeah, you don't get much off if you block it. You have to read it with the can or something.
And it's hard to step for no reason.
Yeah,
it's a counter hit launcher, so if you miss time a low crush, you're getting launched. I don't like Jin personally.
I think people who watch my stream knows that I hate Jin and Mishimas. I can't stand them.
All right, let's talk about that. It seems like the Mishima trend here, because Jin is not a Mishima. Maybe he is in this game. I don't know, but. It seems to be a matchup that you guys personally don't like. Both of you, I think, maybe?
I'm okay with Mishimas.
It's just Jin.
Yeah, it's just
Jin. Well, Commando, I mean, not Commando. Fergus, why don't you like Mishimas?
Because I think Heihachi is okay, but the other 3, I think, is just guessing. Like, it's just unnecessary, especially Kazuya and Devil Jin. Because, so when those 2 characters, like, hell sweep you or do a mid on you, and then you can't even stay on the ground because back 4 and 4 flips you on the ground. So you have to tech roll, like, because if you stay on the ground, they're just going to flip you over again. So you have to tech roll it. They have advantage. They get mixed up for another 50-50, and it's just a vortex. It's just a really obnoxious vortex.
It's really like a very all right, I knock you down, I won the game. You know, one of those things.
Yeah. So it's like, for me personally, the way I hate losing in fighting games is through like raw guessing. And that's what they do. They make you guess.
I think Commando doesn't like that either. He doesn't like the guessing.
I hate guessing. Yeah. Like, I despise guessing. And that's why I can't stand those characters.
It's a 50-50 for me. Like, I don't like guessing. But in those situations, it's almost like I shouldn't have to. And I feel like I'm probably not doing something to dissuade them from going for these mix-ups. Unless it's like Oki, then that's inevitable. But so... unless I know that it's a mix-up that I like, that there's nothing I can really do about it, then I have an issue. But otherwise, I feel like I can avoid this somehow, and I just am not doing it right. So that's why I'm okay with Mishimas.
But for me, it's like there's this like trends that like, oh, Mishimas are so hard, they're so honest and all that. And like, for me, it's like they are just execution. But there's like so little fundamentals behind them, because like any guy that can do EWGF
the
can
main
pick
man
up...
is disturbing his sleep right now.
Any guy execution can pick up Kazuya, force the other guy to go through this vortex and win somehow. That's why I think of them.
Okay, so you got a personal vendetta against Mishimas. I see.
Yeah,
I see.
I don't like them. Heihachi's okay. Heihachi's okay because he doesn't flip you over into a vortex.
No,
Kazuya and
he's a little bit more fair. He hurts.
He's a bit more fair,
though, but he's a little bit more fair.
He has to think on Oki. He has to think. I think Kazuya's back 4. No, Kazuya's back 444, isn't it? Kazuya 444 should be unsafe. Double Chin's back 4 should be unsafe, in my opinion.
Quite so, quite so. So we talked about your personal bad match, and I think it makes a lot of sense with the whole, like, the Leo, the unpunishable, the Brian, also unpunishable, the Leo's risk reward, and then Fang, I could really see that being a big issue because Asuka has such a hard time approaching and making scary offense, and then Fang's just like, woo! And he just backsteps and takes it all away from you. And even if you get the right read on it, the reward is not that much. I could see that being an issue. Jin, of course, the whole controlling neutral, and he's very safe, and he doesn't have to take a lot of risks, and his reward is also pretty good as long as he hits you with a decent amount of his move list. Like, even his pokes are quite a bit, like down back 4 or forward forward 2, or even like a full down forward 1 string or such. Even his 10 frame Punisher, what is it, 2-4 or whatever, hits like pretty hard. But Komanda, do you have another matchup that you're not a fan of besides Jin?
I would say the two. On the lines of I don't like raw guessing, that would be Geese and Josie. Because even though, in a sense, Josie isn't... well, Geese with meter, if you guess wrong, it's just done. So I don't like that. That reminds me of Street Fighter, and I cannot stand Street Fighter.
Yeah, 2D characters, get the med tech. Get the med tech, in my opinion.
But Josie... Nashi would agree with you on that very much, Fergus.
But Josie, hers isn't as bad as Geese, but it's still the fact that I'm constantly in this situation and I don't... Like, you could do, like, the low. Me and Fergus talked about it. Even though the low from her switch stance is minus, in theory, you could technically still run that, and eventually I have to call something out.
Right.
And I don't want to do that if I don't have to. And with Josie, I'm eventually going to have to.
I've heard Speedkick say before that Josie was the top tier killer because she has a style that's very like, all right, here's my mix-up. Now guess. Like, she does that a lot. A lot. That's like her whole game plan is guess. You have
to be active against Josie because you have to interrupt her, and if you're like hesitant, she'll blow you up first. Like, you have to be ready for Josie.
You got to be ready with the right read too, because you have to interrupt her switch stance transitions and like the type of switch stance stuff she does. But if you fuck up that read, you are like dead as shit. Pretty much.
Exactly.
It's so tough.
That's,
She's a good character.
Almost like
she's a good
intuitively counter Komanda.
Maybe I should start playing Josie. I have a Josie at Savior, so maybe.
But just to add to that, Akuma, Geese, and Eliza are definitely in my top 5 most hated characters. They're like Jin, like Kazi and Double Jin. Like those characters are just raw guessing. And Akuma should not have a entry into Fireball. That's plus on block, a low launcher. A plus on block low launcher. That should not be a thing. Yeah, Eliza's wall game is ridiculous. Eliza's wall game is broken. Like, Tiger Knee dive kick, super plus on block mid, and she has a low wall splat. And the dive kick links into wall splats while then jab into Yak Slash. And like, I think that's too much. Her wall game is too much. And then Geese is Geese, he's just shit, and then
I think everybody in America just got a taste of how much they don't like Geese because they saw GM on the Geico thing. I've been playing that guy for a long time now since Tekken 7 came.
I don't like any of them. Like, they should go, in my opinion. Noctis is okay. Noctis is fine by me.
Yeah, he's more fair. He's more fair. It just has a lot of range, but he's more fair. Anyways, I hate to interrupt you, but the good talk about the worst matches. It seems like you guys definitely have your fair share of matchups that are pickle your butt, but Asuka is definitely a character that, well, she has a lot of tools for different situations. He's like skewed towards one type of playstyle, defensive, so it would be natural that there would be characters that definitely give her a tough time. With her being not as well-rounded as she could be. Anyway, so I'm going to get into some personal questions here. Let's see if I have the right tab open.
Oh, no.
Yeah, don't worry. It's not too hard. Okay, let me fix the cropping here. So, while I'm asking you about this, so I'm going to ask you both 2 questions each. I'll start with Komanda. Komanda, you have a lot of demons when it comes to the DMV scene. I think there are some in my opinion, there's 2.
Who's the second?
Who's the second one? You know who it is. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, of course. It's there's Mr. Matt DeVilla Johnson, Mr. Positivity of Self of the DMV scene, Sour Piggy, the Katarina of NA, as far as I'm concerned. And he I see him a lot in tournament, giving you a tough time, a lot in tournament. And I'm gonna play this match for the chat that you guys played in Winter Brawl to get into what is it, top 16.
That would have been that was our first match.
Winners, right? That was top 16 winners, right? And hopefully this loads. I'm just gonna play it, and you don't have to watch the match or anything. But you consistently seem to have a tough time against this guy. And Fergus, actually, you mentioned that Katarina, which is Sour Piggy's main, is one of the characters that Asuka does poor against. But I think it's not only just a character-specific issue; it's a playstyle-specific issue, right? Piggy, for you guys who are not aware in the chat, is a very, very defensive, patient player who is also not afraid to go in. He is not afraid to go in at the same time. But naturally, he's very, 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 very defensive. So, not specifically this match in general, but Joe, would you try to enlighten us about why Piggy gives you such a hard time?
So, if you don't know, me and Piggy was one of the first people that I really started playing with back in Tag 2. So he has come a very long way in terms of playing me, because he knows, like, we play so much, he knows exactly how I like to play. And at least with Julia, he had more kind of options to play with and potentially get killed with. But for Kat, it's like, I know exactly what's going to happen. It's just a matter of, can I mix up my timing on him? He knows at this point that Asuka isn't too scary in terms of ducking. So, and he has the reactions to block some of her lows. So it's not like I can, or at least I don't feel like I can just sneak slide in lows for free. So anything I get against Matt at this point, I had to earn it. So in playing him at Winter Brawl, it was kind of, that was the first time, or one of the more recent times rather, that I decided, all right, I'm going to wait just a little longer. I'm going to wait a little longer and see if he'll finally throw it out and me be ready to punish it. But by that time, then he was just kind of getting in my face whenever he wanted to, and I didn't have the forethought to now keep him at range 2. Because if I had done maybe a down back 3 or more, down 2, down 4, and just kept him out, I probably could have won that. But at that point, I was just trying so hard not to get counter hit that a lot of other things just slipped.
So would you say that he was playing ahead of you? Like he was just playing faster? Like you were going to make a right read, but then he was already on the next thing?
Yeah, probably. And like when I did make some call-outs, they worked. It was just towards the end where finally the game plan was coming together. But now I was so focused on that, he could just now run a train on me and just get in because everything else wasn't working or like he wanted to. So I just crumbled in that last round.
Right. So it's just a lot of like, all right, I have a game plan, and then he's already like doing the next thing. And then, but also, Piggy beats you in tournament, unfortunately, I'd rather say, but it's kind of true, pretty consistently, I'd have to say, I'm afraid.
At this point, I think he's like 4-1. The first time we played, I beat him, and that was like Broad Street Battle like last year.
Oh boy. So
we haven't played like Winter Brawl. That actually was the second time we played in tournament. And I played him, I think, one other time, and that was recently at one of our locals. So I've only really played him 3 times in tournament. But yeah, I've lost the last 2 exchanges.
Yeah. And you know, I think one of the things that he does against you the most is he abuses that badness about Asuka, is the whole very poor offense. He's very difficult to open up. You've said this before.
Well, Piggy's Katarina is different from, let's say, LJR, who shout-outs to him in the chat right now. Piggy is very straightforward, down 4-1.
Conservative.
Which is like he plays very conservative. So just in general, how he plays would have been given me a tough time anyway. But the fact now that he gets a lot of reward off of the small things that he gets, like where he played Julia in Tag 2, I didn't feel as threatened by her, because what was it going to be? Party Crasher? All right, fine. Do that. Give me the high so I can duck it, but for Kat, it's like one and done. Like,
He
what is it,
does
down
hit
4-4?
pretty damn hard. I gotta say,
Yeah.
I don't think Kat's very good, but she does hit pretty hard for a character.
Yeah. So it's just a mix of how he plays, and now this character can actually evaporate a life bar.
Evaporate a life. That's a nice way of saying it. All right. Interesting input there for struggles against a Katarina player, especially since you two have been playing so much before. And Fergus, on the other end, I'm just gonna show this video, but I'm not gonna let you play it because it's been lagging. There was a guy from Asia. I think you've heard of him before. His name is JDCR. Have you heard of him before?
It's familiar.
Have you heard of? I don't know. I heard he's pretty good. You know,
I hear that man's an online warrior.
I think I would beat him though, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so you, very congratulations to you. Way late, but you made it to the TWT finals because you placed in the top 5 of the leader points for the World Tour last year. And
I just barely made it. So I just barely made it.
You know who else barely made it? Feeling. But anyways, so you were in JDCR's pool. I don't remember if that was by choice or you just happened to be put there. Do you remember?
Well, the pools were done by player choice, if you remember.
Right.
We chose the groups we wanted to be in, and I remember the group really well because I saw Joey in it, and I was like, I want to take a chance against him because
you did beat him at final round, so that was a good job.
Yeah, thanks for that. Because like every placement you go up, obviously you get a lot more money because it's like. So I was like, if I can go up at least one, I'll be grand. So I tried to go for like people I think I could beat, and there was quite a gamble because so it was down to 3. I can't remember. Group A had 3 people in it. B was full, C was full, and D had 1 spot left. And then my group was no offense, but like it was the easiest there. And then me picked last. Me picked last.
Feeling you and who was the other person in there?
Joey Fury.
Okay, yeah.
And then Nee was gonna pick, and I was like, okay, he's gonna be my group because he's gonna pick the Oxley. But he picks the hardest group.
Right. He picked on with Jimmy and the Roma, if I recall.
Yeah, yes. And then Peeling was the very last person, so he was put into my group.
Okay.
So
getting on with the match here, you did end up fighting JDCR, and I watched it very quickly a couple of moments ago, and it looked like as a slobber knocker. Like it
was a steamroll.
Completely like disrespected. Like Fergus, never heard of him. My name's JDCR. I'm just gonna run into that gave you a lot of trouble. It seemed like he was just playing a lot faster than you. Like he made the right reads on reaction. Like there was a time when you did forward 4, he sidestepped and he ducked at the same time. So why don't you walk us through like how you felt about fighting Hyunjun Kim?
Really, it's like I just thought like, okay, I have a really big chance of losing, so I might as well go out with style. So I did key charge.
I thought that was a desperation. Like I gotta pull out my strats. Right.
Well, it was a bit desperation. But I was thinking, if I'm gonna lose, might as well give people something to talk about, So I tried to key charge tackle,
and it worked.
So I landed that.
You hit him,
It worked. It works. I hit him with it, but the thing is, like, I dropped the rage. The rage drive was guaranteed afterwards, but I dropped that, and then
I thought he blocked. Oh, okay. He did block it, but I didn't know it was guaranteed.
No, it is guaranteed. Yeah, but he blocked it. I just mistimed it, and then he did rage charge, and I lost. So it's like, okay, what a way to go. But for me, it's a moral victory because I landed key charge on him.
All right. But when going into the match, did you think like I could beat him, or were you already like I lost?
It was a bit of both. Like I know. Obviously, it's JDCR, right? So it's gonna be hard. But I was thinking like I'm here in Tekken World Tour Finals. I'm gonna obviously try my hardest. So I did that. But then I lost the first game of Asuka, and I was going through a bit of a character crisis at this time because I wasn't like 100% confident in my Asuka. So I was like, I'll try Shayu because Shayu's good against Dragunov, and I can play Shayu. So I was like, I'll give this a go and see how it goes. And it was actually worse.
Yeah, that didn't seem too. But you honestly, you lasted longer as Xiaoyu, I want to say.
I think I did, yeah. No, I can't.
Asuka, I felt like faster, blown up as more. But did you? So, what was the thing that he was doing to you that you felt like that was the hardest thing to stop with JDC?
the one big thing I noticed was that he had option selects against Asuka like ready to go.
Oh yeah.
Because there was one moment where he did. I did forward four, but he did sidestep right into duck and then launched my forward whip.
That was crazy.
I was like, I'm gonna lose. It was that moment. It's like
if any of us were in that situation, they were like, we're fucked.
I was like, it was that moment. I was like, this is the difference in level between us and them. Like that one moment there. That was straight up the difference.
That was a shocker. You know, I think that's a good point for any tournament aspiring people in the chat, is that there are tilting attacks or tilting reads where it's like where someone blows up your favorite strat. That's like, you know, that's a real wake up call. And then you got really close with that TR tackle, but then he did the rage drive, which was of course another really really great read. But and then you said you were in a character crisis before. What was the issue with Asuka?
Like it was for the reason that was the mentality of like, how do I open people up for her? Like if they're not gonna press anything, how do I hit them? But then it was after Tekken World Tour Finals. I started doing really well with Asuka in tournaments after Tekken World Tour, so that kind of regains my confidence in her because I play her in casuals. I do really well against a lot of people, like at full skill levels. So I'm thinking, you know, I can do well. I can win matches against everyone with this character, and like,
I am like secondary. Well, maybe you have viable ones. I know you have like a lot of characters.
I do have secondaries if I must bring them out. You know, there was a French league last year, and it was like a round robin, 4-man group round robin, and one makes it out. I beat 2 of the guys with Asuka, but the third one was a Leo player, and I was like, I played him in casuals, and he destroyed my Asuka, and thank God he played me in casuals before that. But in tournament, I was like, I will try Katarina. Like I was playing Katarina for ages before that, so I'll try Katarina, and then I end up winning that set in tournament.
Good. So
that didn't help my character crisis. So I was like,
that's a good point because I wanna. That's not really part of the format here, but. Joe, would you ever? I know you did have not a character crisis, but you did think about having a secondary before. Are you still on that train of thought, or do you feel like you only need Asuka?
It's still in my head somewhere, because I have some really bad days with Asuka where my defense just isn't holding up, and like Fergus said, you have to hit somebody a lot to get your damage and potentially get a launch. So I wanted a character who I could maybe steamroll with, like flip the switch on and just go all in. So for a while that was Paul for obvious reasons.
Paul? What the fuck?
I knew the most with Paul out of all the other characters.
Kazumi or something.
I tried Kazumi, but she has to work a little bit longer.
I rolled my
eyes.
She
she gets the punishes, but she's not really launching you or anything.
If you think that's the case, you with Kazumi, you start playing Law.
So it was really mostly just Paul. Like I played other characters just to try them, but it was really Paul that I was looking at because Dead Fist. If I can get it,
Demo Man.
Yeah, Demo Man.
I can treat Dead Fist like I do forward too, and it does exactly the same damage, and it's a mix-up. So I felt like maybe if I had invested in Paul, if I couldn't get the job done with Asuka, then screw it. Forget fundamentals, 50-50, throw it all away with Paul. But I can't get myself to do that.
Okay, I see.
Malekith in Europe does his acting. He plays Asuka and he subs Paul for those people who are strong against Asuka. Exactly that.
It could be like a good character, like counter pick kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
More like a player counter pick, really.
Yeah.
I'm considering it, but I know that I don't know everything that I should know as like a player. So it's kind of like I'm gonna wait it out until I feel that I'm really at that point where, all right, I need a better character for this.
Okay, that makes sense. And my final question, I was gonna have 2 questions, but I think I want to save time here. I'll ask both of you can chime in on this. Where do you guys think Asuka is on the theoretical tier list?
I think she's top 10.
Yeah, okay. I've heard you say it before.
She's definitely up there. I'll probably say like A plus.
A plus in the context of top 15, you would say?
Yeah, top 15, surely.
Okay. Fergus, what's your reasoning for top 10? Which, in my opinion, top 10 equals top tier. Like, yes, top 5 through 1 is your super top tier. Or even just top 3, actually, is super top tier for me. But the 1 through 10 are definitely, like, the top of the totem pole, you know?
For me, it's like, I think Asuka has every tool in the game to win. Like, her fence isn't amazing, and that's why she's not, like,
Broken.
super up there. Yeah, exactly. Like, every character has flaws, and Asuka's offense is her flaw to an extent. But it's not even that bad. Like, it's still decent, and she can still rob you at wall. I think, like I said, like, she has everything to win with, and she has really good combat potential. Like,
She does.
good wall carry, wall game. She can rob you, rage drive, like 50% off any launcher if she has. Like, she's never really out of it.
Yeah, she's never. There are characters like that who are never really like you won. You know, you still gotta watch out. Especially with Asuka with her panic options too.
The only thing she doesn't have is that 10 frame.
That is it, man. That's the biggest flaw, and I think it might be realistically the only one, like the big reason, like the reasonable flaw. I think.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I don't say she's top 10, but she's definitely like right outside there.
Because you think it's more of a factor than what she calls it than Fergus thinks, because you think it's more damping to her as a character that her offense is not the best.
Well, when you so think about it, like he said, going from a jab to 2-3 is a big gap. So, being able to punish those 10 frame moves, I think definitely can help her open up her offense a lot better. But without it, it's kind of like she can definitely still get it done. I just feel like it's a big thing for, especially as you get up there and like top players. And so I think it becomes a bigger thing.
Okay. Makes sense. So both of you place her pretty high. Fergus places her more higher than most people would, but I think he makes a pretty good argument for it. Is just that she's a character that sways towards a specific playstyle, but she is not so, extreme towards it that's all she can do. So she definitely can brawl, but she's not the best at it, but she can hit pretty hard too, especially launching you or with rage. Like, she's never out of the game. And her mix potential at the wall is good. Her wall carry is decent. It's okay. Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
With punishment's good. Her movement is good. She's a very solid, solid character.
For me, she's won the best Oki games. She's won the best wall games. Second best rage drive, and really good combat potential. Like, wall standing 1+2 counter hit. That's like 70% gone with rage.
That thing is.
And it's only -2 on block. It's only -2 on block as well. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Little bit of pushback as well and block.
That's crazy.
So
it'll be 0. Shit. I find playing her in long sets. Okay, actually, you know what? This is good since we're starting to ask questions already. Now we're gonna get into the second to last final section of our little session here. We're gonna do Q&A with the chat. So if you guys have questions for myself or the two Asuka players here, you can open it up to them, and you guys can pick any questions you want or whatever, as long as if it's a trolley question, you don't have to answer that. But so guys, go ahead, just at Fergus or Komanda or me if you want your question to be read, because it's a lot easier to see it that way. But you guys go ahead, you can read the chat, whatever. You guys go ahead. I have to use the bathroom. I drank the whole glass of water.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's fine. So I did see that Can into naming said he finds playing her exhausting a long set. I feel like that's probably how that should go. Because Asuka is very defensive. If you're playing her if she's a very good player, it can be very hard to take damage off of her. So you have to consistently mix up your approach and how you're going to get that damage. And if you're doing that over the span of around 10 games or so, it should be difficult, because as players adapt, Asuka can definitely kill you if she has the read. So I can see how that would be very exhausting mentally. So
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like you do have to change your approach against Asuka for sure. Like that's why I say like the way to beat her is like to be super patient, but she can also blow you up for that. So it's hard. It's a when's my Asuka cosplay? Whenever they make it. Oh, don't.
I'm just waiting on June.
I'm waiting for Julia and Anna. Those two.
Why? June is actually storyline important.
But she's only been in one canon game.
But she's still important.
I mean, I like she was my secondary and tied to her. I do have an attachment for her, but personally, Julia and Anna for me more priority over her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you hate those two characters because it's our picky.
Yes, I do. Thanks.
Did you guys answer the Lolita Bots question?
What was her question?
Who do you ship Asuka with?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
No one really.
No one really. Ricky Martin.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna read that question.
So I see a question. How do you guys approach her range 0 game? Do you guys use the cancels and the crouch often? Fergus, you want to take that?
Approaching range 0 game as her or against her?
I'm gonna say as her.
I want to say as her as well.
As her, well, like jab strings, stand back for, frustrate them. Like I said, she's not a mix-up character, but she does want to make you like the point of her offense is to like frustrate your opponents to press buttons at the wrong time or whip something, and then she can destroy people for that because she's great counter hit tools, one of the best way punishment in the game, and like that's really the way to go about it. Like jab strings, and like chip them up at lows from crouching down for 2, then back 4.
Yeah, personally, I'm not going to be in range 0 looking to win any poking wars or anything, but actually I'm very rarely in the 0 range. I'm just going to be in there for a split second to get some chip, and I'm backing right back out to range 2, and I'm just going to wait and see how long it takes for you to hang yourself. If I'm in range 0, it's probably just because you're playing more patiently than I would probably expect. So, but I'm not really trying to be in that range if I don't have to be.
Yeah, like her best range is range like 1.5 for sure anyway.
Oh.
Okay. What do you know?
Oh, do we use her cancels in the crouch often? I don't, unless I know you're hesitating.
Yeah.
Like on its own, I like down back 4 in the crouch. I probably wouldn't just be doing that. But if I know you're respecting the down back 4 and you're just letting me hit you with it, or while standing 1+2, if I know you're just like holding back, you're just waiting. All right, fine. I'll go into crouch and now I can do a bigger mix up or something. Yeah. So, but I wouldn't just do it personally.
Yeah. For me, like I use a lot of counters in my game. That's the difference.
It's good that you two play differently. It's a good chemistry, like 2 different styles of Asuka that are both successful.
Yeah,
you know?
Covers a lot in the podcast as well. But yeah, I use the cancels a lot because well, standing 1+2 especially because if they try to challenge that, they're risking 60% combo on its own. So like knowing that they will respect while standing 1+2 because of the damage it can do in counter hit, I can use that as a way to get in like almost for free. And then start her from crouching game. And the other thing is, when you do 4-2 or while standing 1+2 against someone that like really delays the reaction in how they attack you, 4-2 cancel is the perfect timing for that. Because the 4-2 cancel, they're like, okay, wait, and then maybe press something, and then from crouching down 4-2 will get a counter hit. So it's really good against delay timing opponents.
Yeah, I would use the 4-2 cancel probably the most because 4-2 is an instinctive whip punish for me. So without thinking, if you even whiff so much as like a jab, I'm probably hitting forward 2. But obviously, without that time, I won't get the launch. So canceling is what I have to do. But I'm already in, so now it's my turn off of that one whiff. So I like using that, but otherwise, yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. That's how I approach it as well. Experienced. Good answers, guys. By the way, these are very, very informative. You don't usually get these kind of answers, even if you like some. I don't know how much you guys like typing out your responses to people. If somebody asks you a question on like Twitter or whatever, how much do you guys like typing out the whole thing?
I appreciate typing because then I can at least proofread and
proofread. What is this? Like grammar course?
Yeah, read it over before you press enter. Yeah,
right. Like talking it, I stutter and I just I don't like no.
Yeah, I'm a great talker as well. Like I just don't get my point across most of the time. But if I'm typing, I'll be like, okay, that's right, and
that makes sense. I tend to type too much, honestly. You see me type, I type
like,
a lot.
Like I have literally pages and pages of guides written out. Like on Tekken Sabatsu, I had one for Tai 2. I have one for Tekken 7 as well. So I type a lot.
Okay, you don't have to answer this, but Vitalik asks, who's the best Asuka in Ireland?
It's Vitalik. It is Vitalik.
Is it Vitalik? Vitalik is like, you're feeding his ego right now? Or is he really the best Asuka in Ireland?
He's the best Asuka in the world.
Ooh, in the world, huh? Damn, Dimeback his butt is scratching right now.
Dimeback is shaking.
Dimeback is shaking. Mole? That's what he's going right now.
You can crucify me if you want, but I don't actually put Dimeback as the best Asuka in the world. I don't.
I think it's Haruken. Haruken's the best Asuka. He goes by Baekron. I can't pronounce the name right. It's like Korean, like a Baekron. You know, Baek.
Oh, I thought he was an Elisa player. Is he not?
He's a Lisa main, but his Asuka is really strong.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, he's the best Asuka.
I've heard of him before as well. Elisa also a very defensive character in my opinion, so that kind of fits the same playstyle. Let me see what else we got here. Serious question. Anti-strats for Asuka as a Kazumi player. Okay, Fergus, you play Kazumi. Komanda, you've played Kazumi before. So what do you think Kazumi should do to beat Asuka? Asked by, Tutty Nutty 123. Interesting name.
Do you want to take this one or
either of you can answer something.
Oh, you want me to take it? I don't have as much Kazumi experience as you might.
Fergus take it.
Okay. Well, first of all, Kazumi's good punishment. So that's one thing. With 442 and Rage Drive, so they're pretty decent options against Asuka. It's kind of weird because Kazumi's a very pokey, sticky kind of character, and Asuka does fine against that. And like she doesn't really have many knees and stuff like to keep her in check.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but on the other hand, she has lows like the Mat 3. Like lows that leave Asuka in crouching are pretty good because she doesn't have access to counters. So you can kind of so you can kind of be more lenient with your offense against her if you put her in crouching. So if Kasumi uses the Mat 3 against Asuka, it's a little bit trickier. Like assuming the Asuka players are just like mashing on everything to get out. So you can make Asuka a bit more predictable in her defensive options if you leave her in crouch with the Mat 3. So that's a big thing to do in that matchup, I think.
Makes sense.
Another good thing to note is that Kazumi's while standing 4-4 is really good. So even on like the smallest lows, you can get a ton of damage, and you have the frames to kind of press a little bit.
Does Asuka have a -13 low?
No. Besides her, she does. Down back 1-2.
Oh yeah, but that's not really a good move, is it? Not really that
It's part of a string, so you know that's coming. But otherwise, it's just her snake edge and down 1+2.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Like, standing 4-4 is really good against Asuka. Like any big damaging 11 frame puncher is strong against her. I think. I think Kasumi is just slightly bad for her. It's not too crazy, but it is a bit bad for her. But it's like whatever, you can still win.
Let's see what else we got here. Good. Hey, this helps someone's confidence in Asuka. That's good. This podcast, very good, successful. We did it, guys. Good job.
Good work,
Glad I could do my part.
Because he was having a character crisis and he was thinking about dropping Asuka, and now he's not going to. I think, hopefully, anyways.
Hopefully.
I'm getting Knuckles. If you're an Asuka fan, there's a shirt. What is this shirt?
What's it?
Oscar Oscar? Oh, it says Oscar. Oh my God, it's that like that hot dog band, Oscar Mayer, except it has Asuka Kazama on it because Oscar.
Oh,
Because
already, yes.
Oscar, ha ha ha, stupid Eris.
Amazing. I actually bought a shirt recently off Canestra and Katie. They have like a shop open, and I bought a T-shirt from them recently. I can link it in chat.
How do I play Tekken 5 Asuka? I don't think any of us know how to do that.
Don't.
I don't think.
Yeah, don't.
I think we're a little
Not
bit
even
too
I
young
played
for that
Tekken
one.
5 Asuka. I had Paul for that.
Like we had a Tekken 5 tournament in Ireland before, and I tried playing Asuka and nothing worked.
Nothing works.
She didn't have while standing 2-1. She didn't have while standing 1-4. She didn't have 0-4-2. She didn't have 2-3. I was like, what does this character punish with? what? It was literally like jab and then launch. I think that was her punishment, and I was like,
Jab and launch. Nice.
That's really bad. That's really bad.
Oh man, watch out! She's the best character in the game. Nah, I don't know. Who was it? It was like Steve in that game, right, or something. Someone was like obnoxiously strong in that game. Devilgen was great in that game too. Will there be a Katarina episode? Absolutely. I knew.
You're covering every character, aren't you?
Yeah, every character, exactly. There are some characters who are a little bit tough to get people for, but there are not too many of them. One of them is Dragunov. One of them is Shaheen, but I think I know who I am very lucky that I think I might be able to get AK for Shaheen.
Oh, that'd be really good.
Yeah. Let's see. Get me for Kazuya. No, I'm gonna have Cody and Onijin for Kazuya probably.
If you need European players, I can help you with that.
That would be really great. Thank you. Gary Gigas for Gigas. I don't think that guy has a physical mouth, so I don't know if he can do that.
I was reading that guy's Twitter. What is this American Tekken thing? I don't know.
He's not even American. He's Canadian.
Okay. Same thing, really.
It's like Canadians are like European Americans. That's what they are. They're weird.
European Americans. I've heard it all now.
European Americans. Gary Gigas. Yeah.
I was reading that guy's Twitter.
He's an interesting player.
What? He's very interesting.
He is like in real life Gigas. The funniest thing is, I think in real life he's probably like a guy who's like 5'0". That'd be the funniest thing.
He loves his character, so
he does love his character. He has like quite a bit of games on him. It's like 5,000 wins or something like that. 3,000 maybe, a lot.
That's mad.
But Canada is America's hat. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Dragunov Eris. We could talk. Me and Eris could have a conversation or two. We could have a conversation. Anyways.
Sounds good.
Best Gigas in Ireland. Jamie. Who's Jamie? I don't know who Jamie is.
Signor in the chat. Signor for fella.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, now asking all the questions. What do I get for Lucky Chloe? Probably Reno and Young P. I mean, if you guys want to ask me who I'm gonna get for all the people, you guys can ask me that later. Or now it's 10:03. Okay, so any other questions before we get into my favorite segment? I think Komanda knows what this is.
I don't know. I'm gonna get bodied super hard.
I think I made it too easy, to be honest, but we'll see. Seiko for Dragunov, that's true. Yeah, Seiko he's good, but he's just not as known, but he is good. He almost beat Victim.
Well, they play a lot, so I would hope that the scales would be balanced a little bit.
Yeah. But Eris is Eris. Let me just get JDC. JDC came to New York one time. I mean, I'm not from New York, but it's very close to me. Pass the tips against Nina? Is that a serious question? How do you guys fight Nina?
I do not think that I am qualified.
I thought you fight Victimo a lot. Well, I guess you don't lag as much.
No, I know what to do against the character. It's just the way he plays her, because
he's changed.
I've played Exalted and
quite a bit in the last. Quickly, actually, he's changed. His
I remember the Jacob. I remember the Victim that always hit buttons. That was the fun Victim to play against.
Yeah, he was all about the like, oh, look at my execution and the Nina gimmicks. Like, I got them all, and then now he's just solid, and now it's like, now he's just
this
good.
Isn't free anymore.
It's not free anymore.
I remember watching Victim play a lot. Like, I was American streams on Ranked a lot back inside to with Nina and Anna. So I was like, cool. Like, I also like, okay, like another Williams player in raids, but he came a long way since then. I think.
Yes,
he has come a long way. He's definitely a
he won a major. He won American major.
Ball, right? Yeah. I was in that top 8 as well. Damn it! I should have beat Vontae. I'm never gonna stop saying that. But great for him. That was great when he popped off and Piggy was there hugging him. It was a moment. It was a moment.
That was nice. That was nice.
It was great. Let's see. Have you or will you do a Leo chat? Yes, of course. It'll probably be me, Way Gamble, and Bloodhawk if I can fit that many people in here. I've never had 3 guests on here, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it. We'll see.
Yeah, someone's just asking, do I use 1-3 or 1-1 as a mix-up, 1 punishing 10 for him? I would just do jab on its own and then take the better mix-ups on that. Like 1-1 and 1-3 isn't really that rewarding. But if you just do jab on its own, you get like a bigger mix-up, you know, like you got your lows or you got to keep them in check and so on.
Personally, I think it depends because maybe it's just me, but I've seen people who are very persistent with hitting buttons. So it depends. If you actually, you know, take the jab and you stand there, then yes, bigger mix up. But if I don't trust you to actually sit there, then sometimes I might do 1-3. So
but you can do like jab into 1+2 to like it beat buttons, it'll beat ducking, it'll beat sidestepping. So like
I know, but I don't do it fast enough is what I'm saying.
I guess
I leave the gap there.
Anyways, okay, so good amount of questions so far. Best US Katarina? It's between Piggy and LJR. I think it's Piggy. To be honest, I think it's Piggy.
I think I might. Obviously, I'm a bit biased, but I think I might like Larry a bit
more.
Because I think Larry he beat me in song style, but he's sick with punishment. That guy is sick with punishment.
Oh yeah, Bronson too. But the thing with Bronson is that he plays everybody, and he's just naturally amazingly good at Tekken. So he doesn't really. It's weird to say because he doesn't really main anyone except Geese. I guess he plays Geese a lot now.
But yeah, insane. Like I haven't played against Piggy, so
yeah, he's kind of like the opposite. He's very, very, very like he plays Katarina like it's Asuka, except he's not afraid to go in. You know?
I think LJR can hit the switch faster than Piggy does. Like LJR can definitely play solid, but he can definitely just go wild too.
You see how he beat Dimepack? That was not solid Tekken.
Last round,
that was solid Tekken.
For that. That was the most wild Tekken I've ever seen in my life.
Damn, like 4 launch blows? Damn.
Everything just worked.
They beat Koreans. Just worked. Time to play Snake. Time to just play Brian. Snake Edge it up. Okay, so let's see if this works. Cool. That was a clean transition into the time for the Tekken Jeopardy. Woo!
Oh my god.
Alright, so
I get a pass, I'm in school, I have other things.
Yeah, well, you don't lose anything if you lose this, so don't worry about it.
I lose my pride.
You won't lose your pride, trust me, you'll be fine.
Alright, fine.
Hold on a second. Okay, I want to see if I can get this background music while running without destroying the stream. If it does destroy the stream, I'll just stop the background music. It's okay.
Time to get bodied.
Okay, so I'll read the categories to you guys since it'll be delayed. Okay, you know, I think it is done. Is the being okay? I'll delete the music anyway, just to be safe. Anyways, so you guys don't know the rules. I have improved the rules since last time, since there were a fair amount of complaints about how the rules were structured. So the first person, when I finish reading the question, the first person to say Asuka will be the first person I pick for the question. If you do not answer the question or get it incorrect within 5 seconds of saying the name, then it will count as wrong, and I will deduct points from your score, and the other person will have a chance to answer. If nobody answers the question or nobody gets it right, then I'll just read the answer, and then we'll move on to the opposite person. At the end, there will be a final Jeopardy question where you will be able to wager how many points that you own compared to 0, and you'll be able to balance it like that. It might be delayed for you guys, so I will just read off the the points. I mean the categories. Hold on a second. I could get the sound for this going though.
I could just see the look on Joe's face right now.
No, he's
freaking out.
Anyway, so the winner for this will.
Can we phone a friend?
Maybe if I do a one-on-one, I might be able to do Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style. But anyways, no reading the chat, no looking at the internet. Be honorable. And if if we have a picture question, I will show you the picture in the chat so that we, well, I mean in the private Discord, so that we do not waste time. And the winner, I will buy them anything $25 or less on the Arcade Impact Teespring store. Fergus, since you live in Ireland, I'll just give it to you when we see each other at CEO, since I'll be going there.
Sure.
And Joe, I'll just, unless you want me to ship it to you, I'll just give it to you next time I see you, which will be at Combo Breaker, if I get it by then. That'd be, unless you want me to ship it to you.
No, it's Combo Breaker should be fine.
Okay.
That's
so,
even if I win.
How would I? Okay, so both of you go to Discord and play one round rock paper scissors. Just PM me your choice.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Discord.
Like say rock or say scissors, and whoever wins that, I'll just whatever.
Okay, so just private message you.
Private message me your answer for rock paper scissors. Yeah, so we can tell you who goes first. This might mess up the cameras. Will it? Yeah, but I can go back. Okay.
Alright. Cool.
Okay, Commander chose Fergus chose paper, so he goes first. Commander chose rock.
Darn it.
Yeah, unlucky rock. So we have the categories are What's That Move, Name That Move, Asuka Lore, General Tekken, and What's That Stage? And going from 100 to 500, and then 1,000 points. So pick your category.
Asuka Lore.
Asuka Lore 4.
Yeah.
100 to 500 or 1,000?
1,000, go on.
1,000.
Oh,
shit, starting off big boys, huh? Alright. Remember, first one to say Asuka, and please phrase it in the form of a question, or I will not take your answer. So you have to say who is, what is, okay? Good.
Okay.
Or I might just deduct half to make it easier. We'll see. Anyways. Oh, it's a bonus question, so holy shit, you get double. You get this correctly, holy shit.
Okay.
Asuka's fighting style is based on the real-life martial art jujitsu, but in-game it is referred to as blank.
Kazama martial style arts.
You need to say Asuka.
Asuka, sorry.
Okay, an answer, yeah.
Sorry, I fucked up on
okay, it's okay, it's late for you, it's okay. It's late for you. Say, repeat your answer.
3 a.m.
What is, yeah. Say it again, sorry.
So it's a Kazama style martial arts.
I'll accept that. Kazama style traditional martial arts. Holy shit, Commander, you got a long road to go, boyo. Oh shit, this boy just got 2,000 points right out the gate.
Well, GG.
You can still come back. He can get an answer wrong.
Right.
He can get an answer
I still got those points, right?
Yeah, you still got. You can choose another category.
Good. So was it Name That Move?
Yes, Name That Move, which is talking about the name of the move, not like not 4-2. It's like the actual name of the move list.
Oh right, okay. For Asuka, I say
yes, for Asuka, all Asuka, yeah.
And I have 100 points category to pick.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pick 100 then.
Name that move. Okay. Remember, say Asuka and have to phrase in the form of question. Name the 4-2.
Asuka.
Fergus.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah, Demon Slayer. 100.
Well,
he's too good. Pick another one.
I know my character, man.
He knows his character.
I would. Okay.
Pick another category, Fergus.
So what was there again?
What's that move? Name that move. Asuka Lore. General Tekken, which is anything in Tekken, and name that stage.
Oh, so I can pick the same category again.
Yeah, you can pick the same category. Oops. Yeah.
Okay, Asuka Lore then.
Asuka Lore 4.
500 was it?
Yeah, 500. That's nice. Yeah.
Okay, go on.
This older male character contacts Asuka in the beginning of her Tekken 6 story mode.
So repeat that question again.
This older male character contacts Asuka in the beginning of her Tekken 6 story mode, or arcade mode, or the same thing. 20 seconds.
I've got nothing.
Yeah, shit. Exposed right now.
Exposed? Damn. Yeah, okay, so no one's got it? Okay, it's fine. The answer is, who is Lei Wulong? Oh, makes sense. Yes. Since Fergus did not get that one, and nobody answered it, so no one gets. Well, nobody answered it. Should I deduct points from you?
Oops.
You didn't try. So, but then again, you didn't answer. Oh, I guess you failed to answer though. So yeah, I got to deduct points from you. Sorry, but you're in the lead, so who gives a shit? Commander, please go ahead.
Plan, chat. It's all part of the plan. This comeback will happen.
Oh my god, no man.
What's that move? 1,000.
Oh wow, holy shit, that's brave. All
I gotta come back.
What's that move for 1,000? Okay. This 3-hit string is a punch, then an elbow, then a kick. It's also mid-high mid. Oh shit, finish fast. Okay, fine.
You said.
Go ahead.
It's a punch. Then is it back to 1 + 2 4?
You're correct. Back to 1 + 2 4.
Hey!
Damn, you knew that off the elbow. I thought the way I described that would make it hard. What was it, 1,000, right? Okay. Commander, please choose another category.
We're gonna keep going. What's that move? 500.
Oh shit, this guy's good. I think I made this section too easy. We'll see.
Alright.
This is Asuka's only attack, which requires 3 directional inputs without being a running attack.
Asuka.
Wow, that was fast again. I think Commander said it first, though. Go ahead.
What is Falling Rain?
Incorrect, because we're looking for the name, the input.
Darn it.
Fergus.
I am such a...
So, three directional inputs.
3 directional inputs, yes. 7 seconds.
That's saleable.
Oh god.
Yep, that's it. Full crouch, down forward, down forward, 1 + 2. The throw.
The Falling Rain.
It's 3 directional inputs. Yeah. That's not.
I thought it was a different move. I thought you wanted. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, no,
yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
I'm a fail.
Coach Fergus, please pick a category.
Okay.
So Spaghetti Rip is yelling in the chat, the throw!
I know, man.
I knew
I was trying to think of a different move at 3 directions. Because he said Falling Rain, that was wrong. I was like, wait, no, because I thought Falling Rain as well.
The name, not the input.
Yeah, you have to say the input. That's the wrong category. Yeah.
Alright,
Anyways.
so let's go with name that move then. Name that move.
Name that move for 200 to 1,000.
Well, I gotta win 1,000, so 1,000, yeah.
Oh my god, you guys are big ballers over here. What is the name of 1 + 4 to 4?
Asuka.
Commander.
I might be thinking of doing this. What is White Heron Dance?
Oh my god, these guys are pretty good. It is right hand dance, correct. Correct. Commander, please pick a category.
Awesome. Alright, General Tekken 400.
Okay, General Tekken 400. Although Lily speaks French, she is actually from this country.
Asuka.
Fergus.
Monaco.
What is Monaco? Yes, correctly. I'll give you 50 points because you didn't answer it in the correct format. But nonetheless, please pick another category.
Let's see. Asuka lore.
Asuka lore 4. 100 to 400.
400.
Question is, this character is the only female character Asuka quote-unquote hates in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Whoa, the thinking.
Asuka.
Fergus.
Lily.
Once again, I gotta deduct again, but still good. Who is Lily? Yes. You gotta answer in the format of the question. Was that 400? So 2015. Fergus, please pick again. Oh wait a second. I should have put.
Let's see.
There we go.
Asuka lore then again.
4.
What's the points available again?
1 to 300.
Was it 300? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. From Asuka's perspective, this character is a rival, but from this character's perspective, Asuka is a non-factor.
Asuka.
Commander.
Fang. Who was Fang?
Correct. Who was Fang Wei? 300, right? That's about 1800. Yes, good. Commander, please pick a category. You guys are pretty close. 1800 to 1850.
Okay, let's go. What's that move? 400.
What's that move for 400? Going
Got
in.
all the points I can now.
This attack, oh, this is so easy. This attack has been dubbed by some as the Tooth Fairy.
Asuka.
Komanda.
4-2.
What is 4-2? I got to deduct again because you didn't answer the thing. It's okay though. You are now in the lead with 2,000 points.
Hey.
With Fergus not too far behind at 1850. Komanda, please pick a category.
All right, we'll mix it up, I guess. General Tekken for 300.
All right. General Tekken for 300. Before Kuma, this character was Paul's quote-unquote rival.
Asuka.
Fergus. Who is?
It was the.
You know how? I'll give you to.
Law. No, it wasn't Law. I say Law.
Okay. Incorrect. No, don't read the answer because I accidentally revealed it. Komanda, who is the? Go ahead.
That Law was incorrect. Ooh.
Damn.
Oh, I'm just gonna say a random character. Who is Kazuya?
Correct. Who is Kazuya?
Ooh.
Wait a second,
I would have gotten it. I would have gotten that.
Oh, a second. Oh, I read on the wrong one.
I just thought about like some random wiki thing that I.
No, that did make sense. It is Kazuya. It was Kazuya and Paul were rivals in Tekken 1.
Awesome.
Who just went Fergus lost that question? Komanda, go ahead.
All right, since we stole that, General Tekken, whatever the highest thing is.
1,000. Okay. Okay. This character is the only character whose ending in Tekken 3 uses CGI on real-life backgrounds. I like this question.
Nani?
I like this question a lot.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
You guys should have played more Tekken 3. Tekken 3 is godlike.
I played it as a casual.
Same
I
here,
played it
same
as a
here.
casual too, but I remember this shit. Okay, nobody got it. The answer is, who is Mokujin? Mokujin's ending.
Yeah.
Did you ask that right, Joe? Okay, I gotta. Wait a second. Does it? Yeah, since I ducked from Fergus, I guess I'm gonna keep that rule now. If you pick it and you do not answer it, you still get deducted. I think.
Fair.
That's fair.
Enough.
That's fair because I already did it, so I might as well keep to that rule.
Sure.
Now Fergus is ahead by 550, so you got to get that lead back, boy. Took that big risk, huh?
Let's go, man.
Fergus, go ahead.
So I pick I should go Asuka Lorigan.
200, that's the highest.
Yeah.
Okay. Although Asuka is Japanese, her accent and dialect is different, often referred to as blank. What is this?
Asuka.
Fergus.
Is it Osaka?
I will accept that because it is the dialect of that region. It's Kansai dialect, but Osaka dialect is also relevant. That's okay. Fergus, please pick a category.
So Asuka Lore's gone now.
So it's 100 is left.
Okay. Let's go General Tekken then.
4. We have 200, 400, 500.
Let's go 400.
400? Okay. This get-up attack in Tekken 7 is very unsafe if blocked early, but safer if blocked late.
Asuka.
Fergus.
Spring kick.
What is spring kick? But I had to deduct because you answered it incorrectly. The phrasing was wrong. So 1950. Yes, 1950. I think that makes sense. Fergus, go ahead.
So let's go General Tekken again.
For 200 or 500?
What's the points between us now again?
He has 1,000. You have 1950.
Okay, so let's go 200 then.
Oops.
Want me to steal those points, huh?
Playing in number games.
200. Often referred to as Roger Jr. Roger Jr. The real character controlled with Roger Jr. is blank.
Can you say the question again?
Sorry, I phrased it weird. Often referred to as Roger Jr., quote unquote, but Roger Jr., the real character when you control them, is actually blank.
Asuka.
Fergus.
The mother kangaroo.
That's true. Yeah. So, the answer is who Mrs. Rogers / Rogers' wife. Once again, you answered correctly, so I have to go like 100 instead of 200 because you gotta phrase it correctly.
Okay.
2050. Fergus, go again.
Okay. Let's go. General Tekken again.
The last one is 500. So, this English-speaking character's voice has changed several times since his introduction.
Let's take a shot in the dark. Asuka.
Okay, go Fergus. I mean, Komanda.
Who is Lei Wong?
Incorrect. Who is Steve Fox? But actually, since I answered that by accident because I forgot to give it to Fergus, I'll give you both points as a consolation. Because I fucked up. That's my fault for fucking up. So I'll give you both like half points. Give you like 2 or 3. Which doesn't change anything, but whatever. My fault. Anyways, since you got that wrong, Fergus, go ahead. I'll give Fergus points only because you don't get deserve that for getting that wrong. I'll give you.
So let's go.
Because Lei Wong's voice has only changed once.
Fair.
So let's go. So what? You have to answer the questions and
like as in like if the question is a statement, like a thing, they have to say what is, and if it's a person, you got to say who is.
All right. Okay. Fair enough then. So let's go. Name that move then.
Name that move for 200 to 500.
200.
200. What is the name of 1 + 2?
Asuka.
Komanda.
Inner strength. What is inner strength?
Okay, you fixed it. What is inner strength? Yes, 200. Making that comeback. Komanda, go ahead.
Ooh.
We'll keep it going. Let's name that move 300.
Okay. What is the name of down 3 + 4?
Asuka.
Komanda.
What is double lift kicks?
Correct again. Double lift kick. This guy knows his move names.
Damn.
I actually thought I would tank in this category.
Go ahead. Komanda again.
What's that move 300?
Okay. Let's move 300. This long-ranged, cancelable, safe mid is one of Asuka's highest reward attacks if it counter hits.
Asuka.
Oh, he said first though. Komanda, go ahead.
What is while standing 1 + 2?
What is while standing 1 + 2? Oh man, the boy on a roll. You better watch out. He's coming for you.
Shit.
Komanda, go ahead.
Keep it in the categories I know. What is it? Name that move. Whatever the
405.
lowest is.
Lowest 400.
Yeah.
Okay.
400 then.
What is the name of back 4? The hand motion.
He regrets it. He regrets it.
Sir, I would like to go ahead and dial my lifeline.
You don't have no lifelines in this, man.
Oh dear.
Someone in the chat got it right. Don't you look?
I'm not looking.
I'm trying. I don't want to.
Alright, nobody's got it? Okay.
Sad.
What is Heartstopper? Okay, so you picked, what is it, 400, so I gotta put you down to 1400.
Ugh.
I know. But it's higher than you were previously, so. Fergus, go ahead. Oxford is howling right now. It's crazy.
So let's go. What was the points for general again?
There's no more general points left.
Alright, okay.
Use them all up, okay.
So, what's that move then? What's that move?
What's that move for 100 or 200?
Let's go 100.
Okay. This attack, added in Tekken 7, is comparable to Dragunov's Russian assault move.
What, Asuka?
Asuka.
Oh, he said it first! Komanda.
What is 441?
Very true.
So late, man. I was so late.
Yeah, you were late on that one. You knew it. Both of you knew. That was an easy one. That's why it's 100. Go ahead, Komanda.
What do we have left?
What's that move? You have 200. Name that move. You have 500. You have 100 in lore. Nothing in general Tekken. And what's that stage, which seems to be everybody's least favorite category, is all the points.
That is just point deduction waiting to happen.
It's a hard category, yeah.
That moves. Whatever's left.
Name that move, you said?
Are we all done with what's that move?
No, we have one. You have one more left in there, 200.
Yeah, give me the 200.
Okay. This low is only one of the few low attacks to have only -10. On block, obviously.
Is that in general, or?
Well, I mean, like, compared to, like, all the casters not made -10 lows in the game.
Asuka.
Komanda.
Well, I've I've
Okay,
lost
I
my
mean,
answer.
just yeah, you supposed the answer, so I'm gonna give it to Fergus. Fergus, you have an idea?
Let's say the question again.
What is this low from Asuka is one of the only lows in the game that's -10, basically. Oh, that's it.
Back one.
Oh, you did say it. You did say it correctly at the last second, but it's still like incorrect. So I gotta be like,
yes.
It's okay. You still got it correct, so you're still in the lead with 2,300. So that's all. Fergus, go ahead. What was back one though?
So what's left again? Remind me what's left.
Name that move 500, lore for 100, sorry, and everything in what's that stage.
And we have to go through all of them
You have
eventually.
to go through all of them, yes.
That means you're picking the 1,000-point one.
So lore for 100 then, I guess.
Okay, lore for 100. This character is Asuka's aunt.
Asuka?
Asuka's aunt, yes.
Who is Jun Kazama?
She
Correct.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah, it's her aunt. Yeah, it's her aunt because her father is Jun's brother. Yeah. So,
She's Jin's cousin, right? So
yeah, she's Jin's cousin. Yeah, so that makes sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair.
Komanda, go ahead. Only have name that move for 500 unless you want the stage category.
I have no faith in that name that move. So
nobody has.
We're doing what's that stage for 100.
Oh god.
100. Wait, you don't want to do name that move for 500?
I don't believe in it right now.
Okay.
I'm not losing 500 points.
Okay.
Like that.
Because it is delayed, I will post the picture in the private Discord as soon as I bring it up.
Okay.
This should be an easy one. It's uploading. There we go.
Asuka.
Komanda.
What is Twilight Conflict?
Correct.
Hey.
That's me. No way winning now, is it?
You're still in the lead.
It's all part of the plan, Chad. It's all part of the plan. All right. What's that stage 200?
What's that stage 200?
It's all part of the plan, guys. Let's come back.
It's in the chat.
Asuka.
Fergus.
Fallen Colony.
I still gotta deduct you, but you're still good. Correct. For 2,400. Good. Where is the thing? There we go. Go ahead.
Okay, so pick a category now then, is it?
Yeah, you just have what's that stage and name that move for 500.
Sure, what's that stage then again?
For?
Was it 100, 200?
300 to 500 and then 1,000.
300 then. 300 then.
Okay, yeah, I forgot to post the thing.
Asuka.
Komanda.
What is Violet Sisters?
Incorrect. No.
Nope. I tried.
Fergus, you want to steal?
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good.
Okay, so you're just gonna stay. The answer is laboratory. What is laboratory? I think I spelled that wrong, but it's okay though. Fergus, go ahead.
So it's move for 500, was it?
Yeah, name that move 500. Yeah. You wanna go for it? He's thinking about it.
You're hitting deep waters now. One of us has got to be under the fence.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't know. I figured I'd try.
Well, name that move for 500.
Oh, he's got big britches. I like this guy. All right. What is the name of full crouch down forward 2?
Asuka.
Ooh.
Grace.
Wow, how did you know that? I still got a duck, but good job.
It's my most used move.
What? Most used move? Where's that in your top 10 list? 2,400 is 550. Yeah. Oh wait, no. That would be 2,600. Yeah, you already had 50. Yeah. Okay,
cool.
Go. Now all I have his name. What's that stage?
Okay, so what are the points again?
400, 500, 1,000.
Let's go for 100 then.
400?
I will win this by way of point deduction.
400. Yeah. Okay. 400. Okay. I think it's the 5th question. I think I replaced one of the questions. Okay. Oh, it's a bonus question. So if you get correct, you double it. If you don't get correct, minus double.
Well, that's some comeback mechanic.
It's in the chat.
Oh no, I should know this.
You both should know this.
I know one of the words.
I do too. when you tell us what the name is, I'm gonna be very upset.
I will be as well, for sure.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do.
Nope.
And that's it.
No.
The answer is, what is tropical rainforest? And now I think Komanda's close for a possible comeback here.
Oh no. Oh no.
Komanda, it's either 500 or 1,000.
Let's give me 500.
Playing it safe.
Of course.
This is the only way you can. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put it up here in a second. I think it's this one, right? Yeah. Yeah, good. Because I mixed up one of the uploads. I mean, the names of the questions. There we go.
Asuka.
Fergus.
Mishima High School.
Correct. Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, he says.
Don't worry, that 1,000-point deduction is waiting for you.
Oops, that's way too many points.
It's all part of the plan.
Oh shit.
Okay, and then you might as okay. So the final one is there's another stage from a game you guys should both know. It's on the chat. No, I knew when I would bring up the tag 2 ones, you guys would go nuts.
Shit.
No, not like this. Not like this.
Damn, baby seal knows it.
It's on tip. It's on tip of my tongue. It's on tip.
Not like this. Nope, not risking it. Nope, I can't do it. Oh man,
that's it. This is the reason I put this as the hardest one, because you guys recognize it, but the name is really weird. What is wayang kulit?
Oh, I wouldn't.
That's why it's 1,000. Who asked that one? Was that
Fergus?
Was that Fergus?
Shit.
Was it you, Fergus?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't my end.
I have to deduct that. So now he's barely in the lead.
Oh god.
1,300. Okay, so now the final question. Are you two ready? This could either go either way. So when I show the question, I don't want you two to say Asuka. Just PM me your answer, and then I'll read them when the time is up.
All right.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Let's do this.
How am I looking?
Asuka's name in Japanese has two-part meanings. One reading of Asuka is tomorrow and fragrance. The name's other two-part meaning, more relevant to Asuka and Tekken, is what? So it's basically, what does Asuka name mean? It's 2 parts. There's 2 words in it. You don't have to wager any money, or you could wager as much money as you have. And then I'll add that to your score if you get it correct. PM it, Commander. PM it. Don't say it.
So I can not say anything, and
you could get incorrect and wager 0.
Okay. Wait, if I get incorrect, go back to 0 or nothing happens?
No, you just don't. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you get it incorrect, you still deduct. But if you wager 0, you don't get or lose anything.
So
let's go. Those Japanese classes paying off. Let's go.
Oh, I'm gonna sit this one out, I think.
All right, hold on. Let's see. All right.
Damn, some people in the chat actually even know it.
I have to say,
it's 2 words basically. What does Asuka mean in 2 words?
Okay. And
I know one of the words, but I don't want to chance it.
You don't have to wager a lot. You don't have to wager a lot.
What am I bet? Like, do I have to PM you how much I wager?
Yeah, that too.
Okay. How many points do I have? 1,400.
Yeah, you can either bet 0 to 1,400.
I feel pretty confident in this, I guess.
Oh god, please don't.
Wager it at negative points.
I gotta give the chat something to remember. We're gonna bet all of it.
Oh, look at this brave man over here.
Give the chat something to remember.
Okay. You both Komanda sent his. Okay. You send yours, Fergus? Not yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip, like, remain neutral or whatever.
Okay. Oh, you're not gonna say anything?
Not gonna say anything. If I'm not gonna lose points, I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, so you're not gonna wager or say anything. Okay, so 0. Okay.
I made the dumbest decision ever. It's okay.
The answer is fly bird. So Komanda is really close. His answer was.
You telling me I should have put the bird? God dang it.
His answer was to fly. He was really close, and he wagered 1,400. So,
all right, GG.
Fergus, congratulations!
Yeah.
You are the winner.
I knew one of them was birds, but I didn't want to risk it.
Okay, so you can go to this store. I'm gonna message you here in the Discord, and you could get anything under $25. I'll pay for it, whatever. And I'll just ship it to my place, and I'll give it to you at CEO.
Okay,
if
perfect.
you want to send me your size, if you're gonna get a shirt too, you could set it in EU. I could probably figure it out. It's fine, like a metric system.
Yeah, I'll figure out some shirt.
Yeah. With that being said, thanks guys so much for stopping by. Hope this was educational. Hope you guys learned something about Asuka, both defensively and offensively, how to fight as and against Asuka. We'll be doing this again sometime in the near future. May might be a busy month because of Combo Breaker, which is coming up, but we can pick the next character very easily. I put a a poll in the chat for who you guys want to see for next time. This is not gonna guarantee who you want for next time, but it's gonna help me decide, and then I'll narrow it down to a top 4, and then from there I will do another poll on Twitter, and then that will decide who is for next time.
Sure.
A lot of factors have to come into play, like who's available, who I can contact, whether they're free on the schedule, and the types of characters that I want to be different from the previous characters. So we'll see what happens with that.
Can I just bring up that Fergus wins in Asuka fashion by playing defensively? Can I just say, does that mean
it's meant to be. It's meant to be. Jesus Christ himself has approved.
Honestly, I had no idea what was going on, to be honest with you. I was like, just this shit.
just don't say anything. Hey man, that don't move is the best move. That's the best move.
That move. Grace saves me.
Grace saved your ass. I can't believe you knew Grace. That's crazy. What a neat move name too. Grace, that's a cool name.
Yeah, it's really sick.
It's a good thing I didn't do any like the Japanese name. That would have been. If I do a Leo one, that's gonna be hard because all of her names are just like Chinese.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? So, you guys have anything you want to shout out? Any future tournaments you're gonna be at? Any projects? Any streams? Whatever you guys want to shout out? Now's your time to do it.
Well, I'll be at quite a few Tekken World Tour tournaments, so I'll need everyone's support to win those.
I will be a Combo Breaker. And yeah, that's it for right now. It's Combo Breaker and Summer Jam.
Oh, for American tournaments, I'll be at CEO and Evo.
Anything for Europe? I know we got some EU guys in the chat, probably. I mean, they're probably sleeping, but Spaghetti Rip is here, so.
My goal is to make it out there next year.
I gotta make some money too. I'm poor AF. Because I got sponsored. Jesus.
Yeah, it's almost 4 a.m. here. I'm just so slow down a bit right
now. Right. Sorry for giving you late, but thanks for staying up.
You're right.
Thanks for staying up. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I think I did one of these interviews for Jesse back in the day when I was in the UK and I was up at the same time, like 3 a.m. stuff like that.
Oh God.
He was on West Coast too, so it was even worse. So with that being said, I guess Komanda will be at Combo Breaker and Summer Jam. That's the two you'll be at for sure. Fergus, you'll be at EU. You'll be at anything soon or no?
I'll be in Rome next week.
Right.
Rome Tekken World Tour.
What's that tournament? What's it called?
The Coliseum, something like that.
The Coliseum, yes. The Coliseum.
That's a pretty appropriate name for it. So
really
I'll
good.
be sure to try to
win
catch
one for the Kazamas.
Yeah, for the Kazama. For the Kazama, because the Kazama girls, I guess. I don't know. Because the Kazama was a big Jin or something, but okay. And I'll be at Combo Breaker, CEO, maybe Evo. We'll see. Hopefully we can make Evo. Then. Hopefully we can make Evo. I'll see you at CEO for sure. And Summer Jam, of course, since that's in my backyard. And maybe Fall Classic. We'll see. And that's about it, I think, for our show. Follow Fergus at UIU_Fergus. Following also at twitch.tv/Fergus2K8. Is that correct? Fergus 2K8. Okay.
The man stream is is lit.
He's a pretty good cosplayer. Pretty good. Also, he's pretty good at staying 24 hours.
2 different Asuka cosplayers.
And we also have Komanda. Follow him at at TK_Komanda. That's how you know he's a real Tekken pro, because he's got TK in his name. And Twitch.tv TK_Komanda. And the one thing I like about Komanda's stream is that while he does not have the most flashy stream, he does lab a lot on his stream. So that's something that a lot of people don't do a lot on stream.
That's something I need to do myself, to be honest.
Yeah, see, labbing is very good. It's something that Speed Kicks only does. Anyways, so yeah, I'll see you guys in real life at some point soon enough.
Yeah.
And everyone in the chat, thanks for stopping by. Give me a follow, give me a like, YouTube. If you want to see this again, it'll be on my Twitch VODs. It'll be in the past broadcasts for a couple weeks. And it'll be on my YouTube channel as soon as this is done. I'll upload it probably tomorrow after this is over.
I'll tweet that, yeah.
Yep. And thanks, guys. And all right, I think that'll be it.
This was great.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been good. Thanks for having us.
No problem. Thanks, you guys. I'm honored to have you guys.
I'll be talking to Fergus soon.
I'm sure you guys will have many creations in the laboratory.
Ooh, definitely, yeah, definitely.
All right, cool.
All right.
See ya. Thanks.
All right, Dean. All right.
Man, the food here sucks!
We have to pay for this? What did you just say?
You heard me, I said this food sucks! You expect us to eat this stuff?
What do you mean it sucks?
This pepper beef is too damn spicy!
What are you talking about? This is good. No. Put more anger into it. Yeah, that's more like it. Lower your stance a bit more and